Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today?
Good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
We've got Blake, Heinrich, and Cookie. We've got a few people that are still waking up or in the process. Joe G said he will be here when he's here, and Brendan also. They've got a few things that they've got to do. Cookie,
Yo.
I appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Thank you. I got to tease you a little bit.
For what?
Happy Easter to you guys.
Happy Easter back to you. And happy birthday to you, Cookie.
Oh,
yes.
Thank
More
you.
importantly, yes. Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Cookie.
I love it.
And
Also,
Michael
Kaspar, I think, is his birthday today, and Jen Sayak, I think. So happy birthday to them.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Yeah, me and Michael were talking about that because my birthday was a couple days ago, and I'm like, hey, we almost matched.
Happy birthday to you, man.
Oh, thanks.
Happy birthday,
We've
Blake.
got some guy named Blake
Thanks, Heinrich.
in comments. Good morning, Blake.
Blake.
Elemental Crafting. Good morning. Brian Carr. Good morning, sir. J Mac. Good morning. Kevin Hamilton. Good morning. William Houston, who I had the pleasure of meeting at MuskyCon. Excellent guy. Rick Emmert. Good morning. We got Jordan, the Wholesome Warlock here. Good morning, sir. Twizzler19. Good morning. Got Bill Dorklayer. Bill, that was another great video, man, of that of Ganesha. So we'll get into that in a little bit, but excellent work, sir. Brian Man XL and Heinrich and Fernando, my buddy Fernando, my old California buddy. Welcome everybody who's here. Thank you guys for being here on a Sunday and also a holiday. Thank you very much. Do we have any Easter plans for the rest of the day?
No, quiet. Recovering from I was away for my anniversary, which was Friday. So, yeah, my wife and I went down to Virginia Beach for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and came back yesterday. So we're trying to get everything that we normally do in a weekend done today after the show. But thank you. It was but it's nice. We're just gonna run our errands, take it easy.
Well, I like that you feathered in some toy shops on your way to your destination. I'm like, that's my type of vacation right there.
Yeah, I highly recommend if you're looking, even if it's off season, if you want to go down to just like chill at the beach. Virginia Beach is one of the nice places to kind of do like a year round. They've got stuff to do year round. There are 3 stores I visit there when I go, and my wife is cool with me going. Toy Meister, which is a big vintage store, which I've sold quite a bit to, including this trip. They bought 30 out of 32 boxes, plus my Jurassic Park T-Rex. That was, big giant thing. So they do a lot of vintage, but they do a lot of modern stuff, and it's everything. They've got Barbies. They've got stuff you've never seen before. So it's a great store. It's in the top of an antique mall and down some of the bottom of the antique. Yester Toys, which is another smaller store, more modern stuff. A lot of Marvel Legends, DC, McFarlane, but they've got a bunch of other cool stuff. And Bella's Books, Comics, and Toys, which is a official Four Horsemen retailer, and they also carry Savage Crucible and a bunch of other indie stuff, including Animal Warriors of Kingdom. So lots, and the owners are really cool. I met them at Maryland Toy Expo last year, waiting in line to get in to see Wolfgang. So great stores, kind of different. Like Toy Meister, you could spend hours. You can spend hours walking through. Yester Toys and Bella's, it's a quick kind of pop in, but it's everything's friendly. Ask whatever questions you want. Everybody's cool.
I love that. I love toy companies or toy stores that will also go to cons as well. That way you can kind of, I didn't even know you guys were here. Or say you're out of town and you're visiting, a different town, and you see a Chubsy, and I've got a brick and mortar, so you can go after the show or whatever and check out their store. So I think that's pretty cool too, that they're part of the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yester Toys also does, I think it's like 2 or 3 times a year, they do a little, I guess I'll call it a con. It's like kind of con/flea market where they invite anybody who is a show dealer or whatever, and they cordon off part of their parking lot and their sidewalk there with the approval, and they have a little thing, and they have booths, and it doesn't matter if it's down the street or whatever. And people come out, hang out. I've seen pictures online. All three are on Facebook, so if you want to look them up, check them out. If you have any questions, let me know, DM me. And but they're great. And Virginia Beach is a fun. It's a nice family town, but there's fun stuff to do. We did a distillery tour at the Old Cavalier Hotel on Friday. We went on a dolphin watching trip Friday afternoon as well before the distillery tour. So it was fun.
Nice. Yeah, I saw the pictures that you posted, and it looked like a great time. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Kevin Hamilton, I posted my daughter's custom of Thistlethorn to Cabal. We will have to check that out for sure, man. That's
Nice.
awesome. Love to see that.
It's always cool when you get the family into it, right?
Absolutely.
Got to shout out the kids in there. Got to keep this, in this generation, I think we're in this transference of toys where we're at a very high pinnacle of, having pretty much everything we've ever dreamed of and possibly more. But, we got to set up the new generations to keep this art alive, and, getting them into and engaging them and coin a phrase from obviously Dork Lair, hand candy, and everything else that goes along with action figure collecting. I think it's really important that we spread that. Look who's here.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, morning, fellas. Happy Easter, everybody.
Okay, I can't start my morning. We got to hear it. What time is it, Joe?
Let's kick the tires and light the fires.
Yeah, all right.
There you
We're
go.
new to Mythics Live.
Good morning, Joe.
Morning,
Thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah,
Thanks
no,
for inviting.
I agree with you, Blake. It's fun, I think, to share that hobby with family members. Like my stepson, he goes and he's a huge Mythic fan as well. So it's always easy to shop for him. This year, his birthday was the 29th of April, so I sent him the Poxus 2-pack with Poxus and his horse.
Cool.
So it's easy to shop for him because he loves the good stuff. So, but yeah, it's just fun. It's fun to what did you get? Or we had the mystery boxes last year, or was that the year before? Year before, and it was fun. To see what did you get and what did I get and stuff like that. That's always cool. Or stuff from the new waves and stuff. So
Yeah, it's fun to watch. Fun to watch new. What I really enjoy about getting people into the community or just into action figure collecting in general is to watch the oohs and the ahs when you share. What I usually do is I'll just bring up an Instagram page or the Cabal or something. I'm like, hey, have you ever seen this? Like, oh my God, it's just you see this enjoyment come out of all ages alike, and I think it's I think we're all, a lot of us that get on these live streams are big in the community. I think we're all ambassadors to the action figure toy world moving forward. And, we're a world that's very digitally driven. I think there is no replacement for a tangible toy in your hand or whatever to really connect you. So
I agree. Well said, sir. So some of the news is stuff that has been gone over ad nauseum. But I still want to go over it because it's newsworthy. This show I only do every other week. But I just kind of wanted, well said, Sig. Sig says Mythic Legions is pure art. I agree. The dragon was and is huge news. The studio said thank you. What a huge thing that was, though. That was like, man. I mean, I don't even know where to start, but just to be part of that, the Kickstarter type thing that they did, and just the community coming together and everything. It was just so much fun. Here's the final numbers from the studio. Campaign is now over, and once again, the support of our fan community has absolutely blown us away. Through this month-long campaign, we not only met the minimum order goals needed to ensure Beathier and his add-on sets would be produced, we blew past those minimums and unlocked every single stretch goal. And those numbers are just, man, and it really surged like the last few days, to where it was like we're going into like the last weekend, and it was kind of like, oh man, are we gonna, what are we gonna unlock? And then it just like blew past expectations, almost got 5,000. I think
Real close.
yeah, I think Jeremy shut off the store because during the the last show that Curtis was doing, the last show with everybody on there, I guess Jeremy was like, "There's still 200 people in the store that were like waiting to the last second. Like, why would you do that for?" But oh, figure fell down. Juno, are you okay, Juno?
Was that Big Greg? Was that Big Greg that fell down?
Yeah, no, no. I got Big Greg on a stand, but I feel like I should put him on a lower shelf. But, no, Juno, I just put her up, and she. Anyways,
I'm happy to say my Big Greg figure. I shouldn't jinx myself, but it came. My ankles have been holding in there. They've been great. So I guess I'm one of the lucky ones.
it's a big figure, beautiful piece of art, but I don't mind putting it on a stand. Like some people are like, I don't use stands, but I've got him on a 4-horseman studio stand, and I put the Darla cape on him, and he's fantastic.
So,
I'm a bit of a fan of stands myself.
Yeah, me too. Hey, Michael Casper's in the chat, so hey, happy
birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, put him on a cosmic stand. Over kind of matches. It's nice.
So I got a question for Cookie. How do you guys feel at the studio with these numbers?
Oh, we're thrilled. It's great. Yeah, we're blown away. Definitely an exciting time. So.
Did you guys have like any like internal guesses like we did on Saturday Day Live the weekend? Like Bill had written down a bunch of our guesses, and I think mine was something like 4578, which literally pulled it out of thin air because I just thought, the way things were trending that weekend, I was like, you guys will hit the 4,000 easy, and it'll just be somewhere up there.
I mean, I think we were like hoping for that 2,000, and I feel like we were kind of like we weren't sure. It was you hope for the you plan for the worst, hope for the best, whatever. But I think we were hoping that it was going to fund. There was not a whole lot of internal talk of like no guesses, no like. We're talking about how the head was probably going to fund first. That happens, and then we're kind of surprised the wings got sold as many as it did.
Do you think that the head sold so well because it was cheaper naturally, but because of the burning night?
Well, it was cheaper. You needed less to fund, and I think it's a standalone thing. You can use it by itself. Like that burning night. Out of the whole set, the burning night is my favorite thing.
Me too, man. I'm with you. I love that burning night.
I'm super excited for that burning night. So I'm excited for the dragon, but the burning night you can you can play with, you can mess with the dragons, and it goes somewhere, and that's it, right? You're gonna pose it and put it somewhere, and then maybe never touch it again.
I think the burning night's cool. I think there's ideas for even an ice night later. If we get an ice dragon or something like that, you never know. A frozen night.
You never know.
Never know. Now, one of my friends he does not collect Mythic Legions. He collects a lot of Star Wars, but he has bought the last couple of Christmas figure obscura. So he knows I collect Mythic Legions. He's been over. He sees my collection. So he reached out to me the final week and said, "I'm thinking about buying, the head pack just so I could get the Burning Night because I really like the translucent figure." But he's like, I just don't know what I'd do with the dragon heads because I just don't have any way. I'm like, well, there's some people talking about doing some sort of setup or display options, but since he's a really good friend, like he helped me out with Joe Classified early on, finding some hard to find stuff. So I said, you know what? I'll tell you what, I will sell you mine, and I sold him to it for basically half the cost of what I paid. And he's excited about that because I know he would like that figure more than I would. I didn't dislike the figure, but I knew Wayne would be ecstatic over it. So plus, if I can bring him into Mythic Legions a little bit more,
That's right. You got to do your part, man. You got to do a little recruiting.
Yep.
But yeah, the fiery set, 4,000, over 4,000. Which I mean, it's almost Baethier numbers, just about. I mean, geez, that's insane.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a crazy time when that thing comes into the studio.
So Sig is asking, have they started work on the production, or has that? I mean, did the numbers once it hit 2,000? So is that where they kind of put a slot in? I know this is production stuff, but is that where they kind of put a slot in for the factory to?
I actually have no idea. That's way above my pay grade.
That's okay. But can I ask you though, like what do you guys do, or what will you do, or what conversations have you guys had in like the preparation of the shipping and like the warehouse stuff, and like that's kind of your thing.
We have a plan. It's we're a year and a half out from that plan, but we have a plan. It's just we're gonna treat it like all ins. Whatever comes, we're gonna label it and get it up hopefully the same day because we don't have space to keep them.
Right.
So hopefully, container will show up. We know what's on it, so we got the labels ready to go. We empty it, we label it all, and it goes right back on a FedEx truck to go out the same day.
So you kind of treat it like an in stock thing, like a figure obscure or something. So when it comes in, you turn it around like.
Yeah, like whenever the all ins come in, the plan is we get them out, get them labeled, and get them right back out on the road again because we can't store these things that long. We don't have space for it. So, and everything ships independently. So, if a container full of wings show up, those wings are going, whether Dragon's there or not. So
got to get them out. Got to get them out.
Got to get them out. It's going to be a lot of containers. So we don't have space or time to deal with these things. So
do you foresee you guys hiring people temporarily just
probably not
just to get that? You guys got enough people?
Yeah. I mean, once you get too many people, they kind of get in the way.
That's true.
There's only so many people get put inside of a truck.
Right.
So.
Well,
Usually our unload is 8 people, and then we use the same 8 to load it back up. So unload is slower than the load in. So.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, it's kind of like an all-in. You're slapping a label on it. You don't have to sit there, figure out what size box you need, pack it, put some paper, put some filler in there, and
it just depends on when they show up and the frequency of when they show up. So it could be we can get Dragon and today, and then a month from now another container shows up. You never know. You know what's going on at the port. You know what's going on, in China. So it could be big windows of time in between when things ship. So
yeah.
Or it could be we get 3 a day and we're drowning in dragons, So.
Yeah, because I could imagine that they would try to make as much space as they can warehouse wise, so not have other stuff taking up space that would be needed for the Dragon and the parts and stuff. I would think. Yeah,
there's the main room that we share with BB Props. When I say share, we don't really share it. They'll let us use it. That's what they'll get it loaded like right there, and then we'll load it right back up again. There can't be any storing of these things because we won't have space for it. So.
Now I wonder how they're gonna do like for the parts and stuff. So say somebody gets a messed up foot or something, like do you guys order like bags of parts? I wonder. Or?
Yeah, for a normal wave we get a certain amount of replacement parts, and if there's like a problem part, we'll get like the factory will make us like a bunch of them because we know we're gonna need them. Like we'll go back to like Thrace and the Thrace leg.
Right.
So we get a bag of Thrace legs made. And they're pretty quick with that stuff. But yeah, we'll have replacement parts, I'm sure. I don't know how many. I don't know what the plan is, but
yeah,
there should be some plan in place. That's like a Chris and Diego kind of thing. They
right.
deal with that stuff, but I'm sure we'll have some kind of plan in place for that.
Yeah. I can't wait till you guys get like the test shots and stuff of the Dragon just to see it all together and able to articulate and move and stuff. That's going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah, like everybody says, you don't really understand it till you see it. You see the person, it's way different than seeing pictures of it and see, just the size of it and what it can do, and just an impressive piece of work.
Man, it really is. Yeah, I'm glad they took it on tour to some of the shows because just seeing it, just being there looking. I mean, I got there at ZoloCon when Joe was putting the plexiglass. I'm like, wait a second. And I just got like right here, just looking at just the artistry and the paint of that figure.
Yeah.
Just to see it in person is freaking majestic, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
So Bill,
I see it every day, so it's like it just doesn't lose any luster,
Yeah. Bill's asking, did you buy a Dragon cookie?
Not yet. But I know a guy, so
yeah, right. Yeah, you know a guy. Sig says, I just glued my Thrace leg back on. Didn't know y'all had extras. You never know till you ask.
Hit up customer service, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we got Brett here. Happy Easter, Brett.
Happy Easter, Brett.
Hey, Brett.
We'll see you in a couple of days. But yeah, I we had the thing, Curtis and Oz kind of brainstormed this Bayathier telethon, kicked off with the Purple Gang boys, and it was just so much fun. It's fun to be part of it, but also fun, for people to watch and just see the numbers grow and just build excitement for the imminent dragon, to see where the numbers would go. And it was just an awesome event.
Amazing.
I want to say, yeah,
was just incredible.
That last show, watching that Just Shelve It and Legion's Lounge, that was probably the most impressive interaction I've seen between the chat with all the fans donating for the giveaway dragons and the studio. We thank you, Cookie, and the guys at the studio for donating and all in for that, and Curtis and everybody who was on that, donating money to, I know it was Curtis's kind of spur of the moment idea, and that thing took off like wildfire. And just watching the chat donations, and I was like, oh my God, how are they going to keep track of all this? I mean, that was just, and
I think that's
I'll
still
go
an
watch
issue.
something. I'll see you later.
Yeah, go ahead,
I've had
Joe.
some Jesse and Trevor are still having so many super chats came in that YouTube's like tracking thing for it isn't even working right. Hey, there's the man.
Hey, it's Curtis.
Curtis made it all happen for sure.
Yeah, he messaged me. It was we were at MuskyCon together. MuskyCon? And he's like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this kind of 24-hour thing with some shows, everyone kind of connecting and being on each other's shows. And I'm like, I'm in. That sounds like a great time. And it was just such a great idea, and for a great cause. But yeah, that last show with the studio on there and everybody and just everyone kind of chipping in and the giveaways and just the excitement. I don't see that ever happening again. But
the whole thing was a blast. Like I did all the shows. I think I took a nap during Curtis's show. But I did the whole night with them guys, and you think going in like, oh, we're gonna start getting tired and wearing out, and the off-world section of it when we were doing the dragon brackets and stuff. Oh my God,
Yeah,
Joe Vassapolo
awesome.
Joined us. That was a freaking blast, man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
a huge shout out to everybody. Epic finish by Curtis and Dorklayer and the whole team there. But I mean, everyone made this happen. Every single show I got on each one of them and had some time with each one of them. And I thought it was just epic. Of everyone brought something different to the Bayathier telethon. Some different type of chat, some type of contest, trivia, you name it. There was all kinds of different fun things to interact and keep the ball rolling and keep the energy high. So shout out to all that hosted that telethon. It was awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a blast. And shout out to my good buddy Brian Carr.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Brian, for just really exemplifying the best of us and just going above and beyond, donating that win to our good buddy Rob Zamora.
Super cool.
That was just super cool, man. That was just
Phenomenal,
the epitome of good community member.
Hell yes, that was amazing.
Yeah, I already knew he was an awesome dude, so I'm glad that a lot of other people got to realize what an awesome cat that guy is.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. And I really enjoyed too, Schmerber, during the New to Mythics segment when you had Corn Boy on, and he kind of was talking a little bit about production and going through
Yes,
stuff. It was good. It was great to hear for people that don't know a lot about toy production.
Yeah, I'm a brain picker, man. I love to ask those questions. I had mentioned this before when I was an intern, and I was asking Eric Treadway questions, and after his, because he was doing a creative thing, and afterwards, and I go, Eric, I hope I didn't seem like a heckler, because I'm interested in the process and what you guys do, from top to bottom, where Cookie works, where Diego works, where George works, Chris, Eric. Like, we're us being super fans. Where it's always interesting to hear how it works in the process and all that stuff. So, for sure.
Absolutely.
Joe G, did you bring coffee for everyone?
Yeah. So I put the caffeine toner in the fax machine, G. So I'll be faxing that cup of coffee right over to you, buddy.
There you go. I was gonna say it might be cold by the time he gets to you, but all right. Yeah. I'm going to definitely see if Cornboy would do another show. And Brett said he wanted to be part of it and like to get Chris in there too, and just talk production and the mechanics, engineering, the producing, the shipping, and all that stuff, the factory stuff. I think it's really interesting. There's a lot I don't understand, obviously, but it's fun to try and learn and ask the questions and learn more about it and stuff. So
yeah, it's cool when you see too with pictures too. Like I know back during COVID, I backed Creative Beast Studio had their Triceratops Kickstarter, and they were sending out their updates as everything was going into production. And they actually had pictures of like the tooling and the pieces and all that were going from the molds to the painting stations and stuff like that. So it was really kind of eye-opening to be able to kind of see that and see the the amount of people that were working on it, having their hands touch it and do each
absolutely. Yeah, because I think one of the first things when I met Diego at PowerCon, I asked him, I'm like, how many is there of you guys at the studio? And I think at the time he said like 13. And that just like blew me away how many, that what such a small group of people can come together and make like just such an amazing, product.
Oh yeah.
Rob, you're supposed to be on the show, Rob. Where you at, buddy?
Funny little story with
Other
that.
Rob.
You'll notice in those pictures I'm wearing a white t-shirt, right? That's actually my underwear. I had worked a 70-hour week that week, and I got off work and it was just like pull off the uniform and jump on the internet,
Absolutely.
We were ready to go, and I got my white underwear shirt on for that whole 24-hour stream.
I want to see a live stream, Joe, with your uniform on. So you're a minor, so I want to see that Sphexian uniform.
Sorry, Rob. I didn't know
it's not that cool. You would think they would give us neat like black armor or something like that.
You don't have wings? You don't have wings?
It's just blue with like the yellow reflective stuff on it. There's been a few times where I worked late and just jumped right on, and I see all the dirt on my shoulders and stuff, and yeah, this is
working man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is the fun part. El Jefe Rob. Welcome, Rob. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Sorry, I'm late. Yeah.
No, you're fine. Usually my computer beeps when somebody is in backstage, and I didn't hear it beep. Maybe I was talking too loud or something. So welcome.
Yeah, we stayed up pretty late doing Easter stuff for my daughter, and
that's rad, dude. I love it.
Do you have a map of all the eggs where you hit them? I'm just curious. Like, did you
mental? Yeah, I had to remember how many I had put out. We got 32, so I was like, "Yep, I got to figure where they are at right now."
It wasn't unusual when I was a kid. Every once in a while in July, August, we'd find an egg somewhere in the house. It's like you're like grabbing the egg, like don't break it, it'll smell. Get it out of here. Let's go.
Yes, that's a little package of. You don't want to break that. William says it will be interesting to see how Bayethier tooling progresses. Yeah, I agree. That's one of the things I love too about the 4-ish is that they would give the production updates and stuff, and kind of show us where things are at progress wise. So very cool. Rob, you're getting some love here. You're getting some emojis. Getting Fox emojis.
I know. I'm gonna go like backstage really quick, get some coffee.
Yeah.
I'll be right back though.
Yeah, you're fine, man.
Joe sent the facts.
Wake up. So it's called, what we say was, Greg, earlier? Sleepy Zorro?
Sleepy Zorro.
You got to get like a little, he's got to get one with like his eyes closed. Sleepy Zorro.
Some people are just not morning people, you know. My fiance, not a morning person. It's okay. Kevin says, I have my daughter and cousins coming over for an egg hunt later. Have to be fair and give them limits. Otherwise, one will end up with half the eggs. Right? Yeah, it's like, hold on. You know, let the other kids, you know, get a chance. But yeah, I remember those days. Definitely. Okay, so one of the next topics was Big Bad Toy Store and Bayathier. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want, you know, like, you know, I mean, there's empathetic part kind of around the aspect of, I think, you know, it's been said many times, even Jeremy talked about it, no matter when you run a cutoff time frame on Bayathier, there was always going to be somebody who's like, oh, if it just ran 2 weeks longer or next month I would have had the money.
Right.
But we had numerous months to prepare for this, and it even got pushed back.
It
And I
wasn't
think
a secret. It wasn't a drop, you know.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to the thing that, like, and Jeremy said this, and a lot of people have said this throughout chats through the community, is basically what it boils down to is you can't buy everything, right? You can't afford everything. And the end result is you want to do the best you can.
Mm-hmm.
But the end result is, you know, if it comes up later, we've all jumped on eBay. We've all jumped on Mercari, offer up somewhere and grab something at a slightly and sometimes much higher rate because we drug our feet or we didn't have the finances at the time. And that's just part of collecting, you know what I mean? And so the price to have Bayathier, well, let me just say this, just the option to have Bayathier after the campaign is a privilege if you can afford it. And now, you know, save your money and get rid of it and get ready to buy it. At least there's somebody that has it for you. So
Right. Yeah. No,
I'm all in on the BBTS.
Yeah. I thought.
Yeah, and considering, you know, it takes a good amount of time for this stuff to be produced, and with the way that the economy is going, $800 might seem like a lot right now, but it might not seem like a lot when the Dragon actually comes out, you know, with the way that inflation is going and things. And I don't mean that in a poking fun way. Like, it's serious though. Like, there's things at the grocery store that, you know, if 2 years ago I walked into the grocery store and had today's prices, I would have lost my mind.
Right.
You know, this things prices go up, things get more expensive, you know, the economy adjusts. So when the Dragon comes out, $800 might not feel like, you know, a lot of money. Somebody might pre-order that right now from BBTS and feel like when they actually end up paying for it, that it's not a you know, that inflated.
Right.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing, kind of touch on what Blake was mentioning, you know, life happens too. You could have been planning for this, and then all of a sudden your hot water heater goes out, your HVAC went out, you know,
That's
your
life.
car,
Yeah.
your car engine blew up. You know, I mean, I've had all three of those happen to me in my life, and I wasn't collecting at the time at all. I couldn't have even begun to collect if I was that when those things were happening. So you make life choices, and that's okay. Yes. Some of us did have time to prepare and put the funds aside. That's a great thing. Some of us don't have that option. We understand that. Some of us might have been waiting for the tax refund. That's also could help you out. So, you know, there's also a couple other places I know. Attorney of Dreams, which is Maryland. Allen, who's one of the, you know, he's a Four Horsemen official retailer, and he does shows all over the place. He bought 12 dragons. I think it's like 12 dragons, 10 fire-breathing heads, and like 8 wing sets. And, you know, he's going to do whatever he's going to do between his two stores. You know, maybe he does some all-ins. Maybe he breaks it up and sells figures and sells dragons. Who knows? That's up to him. He's also going to do shows. And so he may be taking some of the shows to do. There was another gentleman, and I'm forgetting his name. Was it maybe something Martin? I think he posted like the last day he bought 10. And I was just like sitting there looking at the post. I'm like, oh my God, 10 dragons. I know Brett bought a few extra to help out some people later on. And
Yes,
that's
thank you,
phenomenal.
Brett.
Thank you, Brett. So, hey, listen, if that works, if that helps, the community, people in the community will be there. There'll be retailers that'll have it. I think that's great. And
Yeah,
I
I
think
think it's all a good. It's a good thing. It's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. I think the only thing that surprised me is that the pre-order came up this fast. Like it's still a year and a half or so away, but the pre-order is up, and I don't know where it is, if it's sold out yet or what's going on, or if there's a refundable deposit.
There is a deposit.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Is it a $4 shipping, or is it going to be more? I wonder.
They didn't say.
It's
Okay.
$4.
And it also falls underneath that new
Tariff.
BBTS tariff guideline rule, like everything else on there. So, I mean, enjoy. Yeah, I think everyone just enjoy for what we got. I mean, it's awesome, right? And, we don't know, to Joe's point, the world changes in 24. It can change tomorrow. Like there's so many things. The cool thing is that we have the opportunity to have a company that does things like this, and that we have a chance. I mean, I couldn't imagine this, to Heinrich's point. Several years ago, I wasn't in a place. I had a lot of things going on where I couldn't even afford a dragon, even if I saved. It was just, there was a lot of things that, were coming at me at life. And the end result to be in that spot. And if you're not there, I remember when the Galactus pre-order went up and there's a bunch of people freaking out that couldn't afford it. And now you get online and Galactus is there. Now, obviously, this dragon's a little bit different. I mean, that was a Hasbro mass funded, thousands and thousands and thousands of units. And but the end result was, now you can go buy Galactus now and Sentinel and Giant Man for a reasonable price. And if you talk to somebody and build a relationship online with an online vendor or another fellow collector, sometimes they'll work with you and be like, yeah, you know what, I'll drop it $100 or I'll throw in free shipping or whatever. So I think just enjoy the moment of having this opportunity or being a part of it, even if you can't get it right away, because I think it's a really cool time in toy history.
absolutely.
Yeah. No, I'm in on that, definitely, Blake, because like with Horseman stuff, I'm a fanatic, so
Mhm.
I'm all in on Horseman stuff. I always make that work somehow, however I got to do it to make it work. But like when the HasLab Ghost came up,
Mm.
I really wanted it, and I just couldn't afford it,
Mhm.
so I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And that was just one of those sacrifices. It's just like that's something I'd really like to have in my collection. But like you said, maybe down the line, something will pop up and I'll, find somebody who's unloading one or something at a reasonable price and I can afford it and I'll grab it. But
Yeah. Like
I'm not upset that I wasn't able to get one. That, like you said, it's just life. Sometimes we don't.
Right.
As a matter of fact, the majority of my life has been me not getting what I want, just in general. So if I have to miss out on a toy,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
An expendable income item that you have to miss out on temporarily. You know what?
Darn.
And I don't want to get into philosophy, but hey, we all got lights on. I think we all have food in our refrigerator. We got clean drinking water. We have a lot to be thankful for.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You got to put that stuff in perspective. Don't put expectations on yourself. If you can't do it, you can't do it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame.
Can I just preach for a second? And I've said this on Offworld, a few times, but it's just like this is a hobby, right? We collect toys for fun, right? It's supposed to be something that helps us escape from the reality that sometimes cannot be pleasant, and unpleasant things that are going on in our real life. If you're getting mad as a middle-aged man about buying a toy
or woman,
then you might be doing the hobby wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe reevaluate why you're collecting things, because it should be something enjoyable. It should be something that you're doing for fun to make yourself feel good. I collect all this stuff to make myself feel good, and I'm not going to get mad about toys.
Yeah. Plus,
Amen
it's
to that.
it
Amen.
teaches you patience. You got to be patient. Like I remember with my stepson when he was younger.
You're right, Curtis.
SDCC would have this exclusive figure, and you got to get it now. You got to get it now, and I'd be like, just wait. And you might have to wait a year, you might have to wait 2 years, but eventually, like what you guys said, it'll come around. You'll find it at a show, and it might be a little bit more, might be a little bit less. You never know, but you just got to be patient, and you'll usually get what you want. You just have to wait sometimes. And like what G said, I would get so excited when a new wave of Horseman stuff would come out, that I'd be like, I got to get it all right now. I'd go to the show and I'm like, Cookie, give me everything. I'll take all these, but sometimes I can't, so it's like, I'm excited. I want to grab everything, but like, sometimes I'm like, you know what? It's not a race. It's a marathon. So, like I still need Maxilius. I still need the Undead. I still need the weapons pack. It's like, I know I'll get them. I don't need to get everything right now and make myself even more poor. It's like I know that they'll be there, that they'll be around, and I'll just grab them when I have the chance and the ability. So that's how I feel about it.
Well, the other thing too is, you got a lot of friends now. Everybody has more friends, especially in this community, that that there's going to be opportunities to get stuff. There's going to be folks like Timothy Fung, who's buying collections up. I mean, he's got stuff selling at close to the initial Horseman prices. So. Oh, hey, Brick. How you doing, Brick?
Yeah, hey, Brick.
So, yeah, there's opportunities.
I want to comment on one comment there by I want to give a response to Bill's comment that was on there. And that is regarding the whole losing faith in the toy community. He went through a rough patch. And there are haters everywhere. And you just can't let them drag you down. There's always going to find somebody that's going to find something negative. Those type people, bye. You know what I mean? Like there's haters in every single thing, every genre out there. And back to Joe's point, middle-aged guys, gals, kids, whatever, collecting, the end result is something fun. And if those people feel like they need to dig into somebody like Bill, who's got a big heart, who's a super awesome guy that brings so much awesomeness to this community. Not only does he bring awesomeness to the community, he's a teacher. He gives back to the community by the things that he does, by shaping young minds moving forward. I think, honestly, Bill, shake it off, brother. That's what I do. I don't have time for people like that in my life.
Go ahead, Rob.
Kind of just going on what he's talking about, and Bill, reading his comment, is Bill talking about people outside of the community? Like who is saying that? That's interesting. That's the first I'm hearing about that.
Oh, on the Dork Lair YouTube channel, man, those guys, and it is a minority, but it's a vocal minority, and they were coming out of the woodwork, called Bill a shill and all this kind of stuff, and he's only doing that because he gets the figure obscuras early, and just a bunch of, and it's not people that know him as a person, and what an honest person he is, right. And that the whole thing was just a mess. I don't blame Bill at all for being upset.
Yeah, anytime you get on YouTube like that, Joe, you know this, Joe, and I'm sure you've had your share being on Off-World or any show that you're on. You're always going to find somebody, and I definitely want to bring this across in a positive way, even though it's you're always going to find somebody, once you put yourself out there like this on YouTube or anything like that, you're always going to have somebody out there doesn't like the way you look, the way you do this. Oh, he probably gets hooked up with this. He gets free figures, so yeah, he's happy, blah, 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 blah. All these different comments. And the end result is, those are people that got other things going on in their lives that's how they're acting out. That has nothing to do with the quality of each individual on these live streams and these YouTubers that put their time and effort out there. So my props, that's that hardcore Marine in me that's coming out right now. And I fight for my family and my people, and these people are my people. You're all my people. And the end result is, don't let these people that want to tear down something that's wonderful, that's absolutely beautiful, that you don't see too much in this society anymore, don't let them get in there. So I'm done. I'm going to shut up.
No. I agree, Blake. And it's my personality too. Just the environment that I come from. I say, come at me. If people have a problem with me, feel free to voice it. But calling Bill a liar or
Yeah.
a shill, you know what I mean? First off, and Curtis brought this up too, like, we're fans of the toys. So if you're expecting to get on and watch a video of somebody who is a fan of the toy line and have them bashing the toys that they enjoy and collect, you got to screw loose. It's just not gonna, that's not what you're gonna get. I get that people have a hard time with life sometimes, and that they're venting or want people to share in their misery. Get therapy. Leave Dorklayer alone. Come on, it's just not cool.
Yeah,
not cool.
I agree, and that whole, I'm with you, G. Calling people a shill is it's ridiculous. You're a fan. I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, what's wrong with admiring what the studio makes and defending it when it needs to be defended? That's not being a shill. That's just loving the product, loving the studio, loving the people that work there. That's not being a shill.
Hey, Greg, throw Brick's comment up there too. I think that will be a good way to probably segue into something else. But he has a point there. Like, there's, too positive. Come on, people. We need more of that in this world. Come on.
Yeah. I think it's people being too damn negative.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Agreed. And you know what? There's something too to be able to say, hey, listen, okay, they're putting out a line of figures. I'm not going to pick on anybody or name or anything, but I don't particularly like that one. Okay, then don't buy it. That's true. And you can constructively say too, without saying, well, I don't like this, or I'm not going to buy it. It's a pass for me. Okay, that's okay. That's okay to say that, but don't be negative because Bill or Greg or Blake or any of you guys love the figure. It's your favorite figure. It's based on your favorite novel, video game, movie, whatever. You don't need to bash anybody who loves something, who's a fan of something. And it's kind of funny because, I remember growing up watching a lot of sports shows, especially the football pregame shows. And, back then the announcers were very careful. They couldn't have a favorite team, even if they played for the team. They would joke around about it. Now, on ESPN, Mike Greenberg is all about the Jets. And, maybe some other people are all about their college football, which is okay. Again, they're fans working in the sports medium. They're not bashing the team the Jets are playing or that their college football team is playing. They're just trying to help say, hey, I'm excited about what the team is doing. So, I see Dorklayer and us and everybody else. We are fans promoting the efforts of not just Four Horsemen, but a lot of the other toy companies that come across. And Four Horsemen's been a great supporter of a lot of independent companies and of inviting them to Legion's Con and working with them as in design and other things that, the folks have mentioned in production. So, I feel good when I hear about that, when I hear about the stuff that, they're doing outside of, hey, there you go, Rob. I think it's great when I hear that, Four Horsemen is working on projects outside of stuff that they're producing. I like hearing that.
And I'll just say, I play Dungeons and Dragons. Calling me a white knight is a compliment.
Sorry, I had to go Dorklayer shill right now. So
right on.
There you go. You got the.
I left for a
gear
second
on.
to get coffee, and I came back, and I'm like, what's going on, guys?
It's impossible for someone to like something I dislike. So if they say they like it, then they must be lying. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everyone's different. Some people are just naturally more negative, or people want what you want, or I don't know. I try not to feed it. I try to just keep scrolling, and ignore it. But sometimes that's not the right thing either, to ignore it. But you can't. I mean, I feel like you can't really change people's minds unless they want to change your mind or be different. There you go. There you go.
Got to bring it. That's how we represent, man. That's how this community works. And that's what I love about it. It reminds me of being back in the Marine Corps with my Green family. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't mind defending, the studio or the community. You call me whatever you want. I don't care.
I just want to say that I have a Dorklayer shirt also, but it's cold and I'm not taking my shirt off. But I still support you, Bill.
Me too. Mine's buried in my t-shirt drawer. So
if no one were buying it, then the group wouldn't keep growing. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, that last episode where they're just doing the last run of the dragon and everybody chipping in. I mean, that's like an indication of how great this community is. I don't understand how anybody would think otherwise, it's just pretty crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree totally. Brett, why are you sending me texts right now? I'm doing a show, Brett.
Does he say? Does Brett say move on?
Just ask me in the comments, Brett.
We're
He's
here.
wondering.
He's
Probably wondering who does all your hair care, because I think it's absolutely beautiful.
No, he just asked me what time was I planning on being at New Jersey Toy Con. And I told him already, I'm like, you're picking me up. You're picking me up from the hotel, Brett. You're picking me up. So when you pick me up,
I'll pick me up too.
Yeah, pick up
Number
Cookie.
5.
We'll get some Dunkin'. We'll get some Dunkies. And we'll be there.
Yeah, shout out to my brother in the chat there, TD3 Trooper there. Semper Fi, my brother.
Oh, nice.
Hoorah.
Thank you for stopping in, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for your service. Brendan says, I want a Dorklayer trucker hat. Brendan, how come you're not on the show? You were invited. I sent you a link. You should be you should be saying that in person.
Greg, I think you need to get you and Mark from Saturday Toy Collector. You need to get Dorklayer flip-flops. So you could have like your toes just like out there with the Dorklayer logo surrounding them. I mean, how sexy is that? I know Curtis would probably be the first one to buy a set of those flip-flops.
I think Cookie is not a fan of the
broke-
toes.
I just broke my mouth.
Yeah, Cookie is not a toe fan. And
No.
Cookie, you should have told me already, man. I mean, you've seen me 100 times walking around with my toes out. You should have told me, man.
Hey, my problem's not your problem,
Be like, holster them toes.
Sheathe them. They should be sheathed at all times.
Be ready at 3. Oh, damn. 3 a.m. Eastern time?
Well, where we are.
Oh, we're going to be there before the studio. No, that's all right. I'll be there. You come get me. I'll be ready.
I'll be there Friday. So.
I'll be there Saturday. Late Friday? Early Saturday? All right. Some streamers use controversy to drive viewership. Just don't fall for it and add to their viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, drama sells, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. Ultimately, me ignoring the BS is me spending less time in the cabal and more time in my secret Discord, which is awesome. People that are into the Discord, check out Dorklayer's new Discord thing. I'm happy to be in there. And Brendan says, I'm getting to it, just finishing up Easter prep. Take your time, man. No rush.
Hey, Bill, and remember what you always say. May the force be with you. Be strong and fight the dark side.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say don't take it personal, but don't take it personal, because if it wasn't you, then it'd be someone else that they would be hating on and criticizing or whatever. So,
Well, as a studio employee person, it's hard to not take things personal sometimes.
No, I agree with you. No,
I totally agree.
I left the cabal. I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
I was either going to lose my job or leave the cabal, so I chose to leave the cabal. So.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being passionate, but sometimes people just take it to that,
I mean, this whole thing is just toys, but I mean, it's not just toys to us; it's my payroll. But
right,
it's just toys, man. So you get it a little later. Get it, there's bigger problems in life than when you get your toy. I just gotta see it. It got brutal in there, so I'm like, I gotta go.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Cookie. I don't blame you. And a lot of times, we've all probably have stepped back from the cabal because, because of some toxic people that are still there. So I don't blame you, man. But just realize that it's not everyone; it's a select few
Oh, I know. It's
that are like that.
vocal minority, but
Yeah.
little loud ones. So.
Bill says, I'm not taking it personal. It's about the harm it's causing to the Cabal community. Yeah, I'm with you, man. You can't abandon the ideals, Curtis. I left there a year ago, and I'm more Cabal than ever. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you don't have to be in the community to be part of the community.
That's a very true statement. You make friends. I interact with people more off of the Cabal than on the Cabal now, and it's not anything about the Cabal. It's just that I've made some great friends being part of this community. And man, I love these toys. I have every Mythic Legions. I have every Cosmic Legions. I have every Gothtropolis. I have every Seventh Kingdom. Like, I love this company and the things that they produce. So, does people saying negative things about them bother me? Yeah. I'm not the type to respond to that kind of stuff just because it doesn't affect me, like in a sense where I'm not really bothered by it. But, it's unfortunate that people would go into a fan community and then post negatively about the things that we love and
that's what I don't get.
It's silly.
It's like
ridiculous.
you're amongst people that are super fans. Why are you causing strife or unrest?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about the psychology of it? Think about this. The only reason you're in that community making those comments is because you obviously were interested to be in that community. So who's got the problem there? Why are you in a community following stuff and commenting and stuff if you don't care? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. But anyways,
blows my mind.
The worst ones are the ones that still even like Mythics and still talk crap. Those are the ones that I don't understand. The ones that are still hanging out in the Cabal, and it's just
Misery loves company. That's what it is.
Yeah,
exactly. So next topic is the studio has the would it be the studio? I guess Viteri and Legion's shop has the hotel. Hotel already sold out like that day. Hopefully everyone has some bookings for that, because just being there is if you can, the hotel is the best place to stay, just because you can stay up late and all those conversations. You don't have to go far to rest your head. But has everyone booked?
Yep. And I will say this to anybody who hasn't booked or missed out getting a room. I know last year I decided too late, with my wife to go. So of course the hotel was sold out when we decided to go, because I think it was like May or June. And so I booked out a hotel. I think it was a Hyatt that's over by the Wegmans, and it's only a mile away, so it was no big deal. It's a lot closer than the Sinestas or whatever that other place is. And the week before the convention, Jeremy posted on Instagram and on Facebook, hey, there's rooms have opened up because people had unfortunately to cancel, so you can go on and grab a room. And I was able to grab one, and I know a bunch of people were, because I had a friend of mine, Junkion, Mike Rogers, he needed a room, and I'm like, Mike, here's the link, go right this second and grab it, and he did it. So I would just say do a backup hotel with the option to cancel, and that way you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I agree. Tiffany saying 4 Horsemen cares about the fans and making great toys. The 4 are proud of. They don't answer to shareholders or business ideas. They make toys they want to make, fun and joy over profit. Awesome. There you go. I agree. Yeah, it's the hotel is just so much fun. I mean, if you can get there, get there. But it's a blast. Everyone is there, and it's just such a good, happy vibe, where everyone's happy to see everyone. We're here to celebrate the toys, what's coming out, the wave, the G-Con, intern, all that good stuff. It's just a great time. So I recommend, if you can make it there, definitely. make it there for sure.
And a traveling tip for you, just so in case you're not a big traveler, the best time to buy your plane ticket is 90 days or usually right at the end of summer. Just so you know, last year, for you to know, I'm out here in Oregon, so it's a flight. And I paid $237 round trip direct
Wow.
on Alaska. Yeah. There's a pocket of time in the middle, towards the middle of summer to the end of summer before Labor Day that you can get like absolutely amazing, even direct flight tickets, especially if you're at a hub, airport. If you're in some town that's where you have to do a puddle jumper first, it's going to cost a little bit more. But yeah, if you want to get your
we got to swap numbers, and you got to give me the heads up when that happens, because I'm here in California, and
absolutely,
yeah, wow, that's a great deal, man.
You might have
Are
to
you
leave
near?
out
Are you
Fresno.
near a hub? Are you near a hub airport, like a big airport?
LAX and Burbank, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I didn't know that lot when we booked ours. It was pricey, man.
I book every June because I enter the intern for a day, so I want to make sure that what days I need versus for my, and so I just plan to be out there for pretty much almost the whole week, whether I get selected or not, or whatever's going on, because it's just an amazing week. It's a mythic week. It's a Legion's Con week. It's not even days anymore, like a weekend. So
nice.
And I think you can send alerts for different travel sites for the air, the rising or falling of the
And Travelocity is one of the best ones I've gone through for that. When I go from here to Chicago, for many who don't know, I'm a proud Sicilian from grown and raised in Chicagoland. And so, and the shout out to Lou Malnati's and Portillo's. I miss you.
Portillo's, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, there's a lot of options there, and I've seen a Travelocity. I've cased them all. I'm always looking for a good deal, and Travelocity seems the best. Always by mid-June-ish, July, and you're good to go.
Nice.
Shout out to Brett also, who is like the what does he say? The Uber elite, the tidy Uber elite. This guy is taxiing people back and forth to the hotel, to the airport.
Oh, that's cool.
He picked up Wyatt at Muskie Con and drove to pick him up, and just thank you Brett, for always being a real one, man. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. But Dylan's my personal chauffeur now from Legion's Con. He's stuck with me, so
Dylan,
there you go.
Going to be driving me around.
Yeah, Dylan's a great one too.
I'm gonna need an Uber to that grocery store. What he keeps talking about,
Wegmans.
Yeah, I wanted to check that out last year, but we didn't. But everybody seems like that's a pretty big thing if you go to Legion's Con.
It's a nice grocery store. It's a grocery store. I mean,
yeah, everybody's just like, if you need something, you gotta go. Why? What's the deal with that? You can get everything there. It's like, what?
One-stop shop.
Except for underwear. I forgot to pack underwear and was secretly hoping that they might have some, but they did not.
So Terrence picked me up at my buddy and I from the airport, and he told me that he's like, hey, so we need to make an emergency stop to Walmart. And I'm like, emergency stop? And he told me the whole story. I'm like, how did you forget everything that you had? One main thing, you forgot the necessities.
What do you think he's going to pack this year first? Underwear.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Uh,
and learn to go without.
So I will give a shout out because last year was my first Legion's Con, and I was watching Dorclair and Legion's Lounge leading up to Legion's Con, and they had all these great guests that were going to be, vendors at Legion's Con, and it gave me an opportunity to kind of learn about them. A couple of them I contacted ahead of time, did a couple pre-orders and stuff like that. I mapped out who I was going to see, like who I wanted to see, who I wanted to check out their booth, and it helped me have a great time, for the 2 days I was there. So I highly recommend when that, the fall comes out and they start doing their shows, and maybe we'll get a few on for Mythic Legions Live here on Sundays to come up and talk about, because I think that helps the community too, because those were great shows that I really thought I learned a lot about the the creativity of the community, the people, the passionate fans that that are coming out and selling stuff. So I did, I got a chance to meet some phenomenal people, and I hope everybody, especially new people to the community, get a chance to watch this show so they can learn about it, because it does help you. You're not just going into the room and going, you can be overloaded a little bit, it's very easily. And also getting to watch the shows and see, like, Joe G, I was able to get like a picture like 5 minutes after I was in the hotel lobby with Curtis, and I knew Jordan and Van from Maryland Toy Expo, so it's great to be able to see people that right away.
Absolutely.
And
that's always a blast.
Feel, and Cookie and Vern and Dustin and Diego and all the horsemen, of course. It was phenomenal to be able to know everybody's faces and say hello, and you're not just there by yourself. You're there amongst friends and family.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
That blew me away too. That I would walk in there and people were like, "Joe, can I take a picture with you?" And I was like, "With me?"
I thought you were a lot shorter, Joe.
Yep.
I heard that a few times, probably in the area of
Joe.
like 35 times during the. Because I have a decent sized monitor, I guess. This is the best science that I can figure out. And then I put my camera on my monitor so it's looking down at me. So I guess that makes me look shorter. I don't know. But I'm not tall. I guess I just look miniature on the internet. I don't know.
I thought you were short, and I thought G was tall, like really tall. And then I saw G, and I was
What's
like,
it going?
"Oh." Yeah. I saw him in the lobby, and I was like,
He's got a tall heart. His heart is
Well,
tall.
he's got a big G, so everyone thought big G, like, hey.
That's right.
Hey, you know what's not short,
G.
though? The amount of time to Legion's Con. It's only 202 days away.
Oh, man.
Wow. Yeah.
This right here, G saw me from across the lobby and came running like a freaking freight train. He's a little dude, but he almost knocked me down. I wasn't ready. Next year, I'm
Got
definitely
the best hugs.
Yeah.
I'm tall on the inside.
Definitely are, man.
What a feeling, though. Like when I came through that lobby and and just like that feeling that I was amongst friends, and people that know me. It was just a great feeling. And then I got in the group, and then when someone new came, just that excitement, to see somebody else that's part of this community. It's just the best, man. What more can I say? It's the fucking best.
Well, this last Legion's Con was my first, and now I can't imagine missing it. Like that's what an impactful, amazing experience that was, being there with everyone. Like I never want to miss another Legion's Con. That's how good of a time I had.
If you ever need to call 4-H, you can. As sometimes the person who answers is Eric Treadway or CB or Jim or Chris or another of their hardworking team. There you go.
Somebody got left out. Oops.
Yeah.
Call
Cookie, you pick up the phone, right?
I never answer the phone. That'll never happen. I'd be like, Diego, the phone's ringing, and I'll walk away.
That's for you. It's not for me.
No, I just can't see, so I gotta look close to, I'm on my phone. So
Right.
That's all right. We appreciate it, Cookie.
Cookie, you got important things. You got important things to do. You don't need to be answering the phone, all right?
That's right. That's right. You're getting toys in hands, man. That's what's important. Brick says, I totally witnessed Greg's arrival and the loud welcome he got. Man, that it was like, if you're talking about me, there's 3 other Gregs, I think, but if you're talking about me, it was like, man, it just set the pace of set the vibe for me of just being amongst great friends. So I love that, man. The comments always ask for Cookie in my best angry baby mama voice. That's from Jordan.
If Jordan calls, I'll answer the phone.
Okay, there you go, Jordan.
There you go. We know that.
It was awesome being there. Just knowing we all love figures is crazy. I don't know anyone like that in my personal life. Yeah, Sig, I wish that I lived closer to more of this community. I know Guesagway and William Wallace and Brendan, they all get together sometimes and have these these barbecues and stuff, and I'm like, man, I wish I could be there.
Hey Blake, where in Oregon do you live? You live in like Portland area?
Yeah, Southwest Portlandia.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We went up there for my wife's birthday a few years back. And I really wanted to go up to Astoria. Yeah, I like, but we just never got around to it. But that was like one of the stops that we wanted to hit up.
I encourage anybody that's never had the chance to come to the beautiful Pacific Northwest, the jewel of the United States when it comes to nature and just absolute sheer beauty. My friends in Chicago and all over, they're like, so you stayed in Oregon. I came out here for business originally in 2014. And they're like, you stayed in Oregon and you lived in Colorado. You've lived all over the place. Like, why did you pick Oregon in that area to settle down? I said, do you like Lord of the Rings? And they're like, yeah, I love Lord of the Rings. I go, every day when I walk outside, it's like walking on the set of Lord of the Rings. I mean, I look over snow-capped mountains, big river valleys, ferns and pixies and gnomes and fairies in the forest right around my neighborhood. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. And then 45 minutes to the beach. It's just gorgeous up here.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful state.
That's where we wanted to end up before we had our daughter. It was like but it just never happened. But when
might I add, no sales tax.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that because I remember going record shopping and that was one thing I remember. Yeah, that was crazy.
Mine's a little different. I'm like, hey, do you guys like Mad Max? Well, you should come to Nevada.
I love Mad Max.
Brick, I agree. Brick says this is exactly why the West Coasters need to build more of these mythic meetups like the one in Sacramento, May 3rd. All West Side folks should RSVP at the link just so we can. I agree. I know Rob is it's a bit far for him, but maybe you guys can start making ones that are more mid. Like me and Rob were talking about maybe one in SLO where Wyatt is, kind of halfway in the middle of the state. And then we need one in Oregon too, right? Maybe in Washington.
Probably cool to get a Pacific Northwest. I know, we've got Robert Suarez. He's up here. We're all in the same area. Von Burke, Brian. Like me and Brian are close to being neighbors. I mean, we're like literally minutes away from each other.
And my friend Lyle lives up there also.
I got my Marine buddy, obviously, TD3 Trooper there down in Roseburg, which is not far from me.
My grandma used to live in Roseburg. I've been there.
Yeah, Oregon's nice, man. I'd be down to do a mythic meetup up there for sure.
All right, well, maybe I'll start working on something. I know I had thrown some stuff out there to Von Burke, Brian, and them, and Portageegan about doing something. Maybe we just need to, as Joe says, kick the tires and light the fires around that subject.
Right.
Yeah, I went to the first California Mythic meetup, and that was what kind of got me rolling with everyone. I had never gone to a convention or anything like that. I'm kind of a hermit, if I'm honest, and I was a little nervous going, and to get there and to have everybody be so cool. Nate Barch is amazing. That was an amazing. But my middle boy went with me, and I walk up to Nate's table, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take this one and that one. If you could sign him for me, please, I'd appreciate it. And Nate, being the cool guy, he goes, "You're Joe, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know who I am?" And he goes, "Yeah, I love your stuff." And my son still teases me to this day. He says, it's the only time your whole life I've seen you physically recoil, because I was like, Nate March knows who I am.
Right?
I'm just mind blown, And I just got to hang out with so many cool people, and I'm extra looking forward to this one this year, because I was in line behind Brick and didn't have any idea who he was. I only knew him from the chats. So when I finally saw his face, I was like, I was standing right behind that dude and didn't even know who he was. So we didn't get to hang out or talk or anything. So I'm looking forward to this one to make up for that.
That's why it's great to go to cons too, is you get to meet people. That's what it's all about. Great toys, but man, meeting people is what it's all about for sure.
the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got to hang out with Late Night LeBron at that one, and that was super cool. We just stood outside and talked for like a half an hour. Like, it was awesome. And Curtis is going to be there, and Curtis is going to get a freaking hug.
Curtis.
Well, I have to go. I have to definitely go because not because I don't want to meet all you, but supposedly I left Curtis waiting on a pier in Chicago, waiting for me, and I feel really bad about that because obviously I think there's a miscommunication. But Curtis, if you're watching, and I know you are because you never stop watching, you're going to get a big hug from me in Sacramento. Big recon rage hug.
Absolutely.
Yep. And maybe a chokehold. We'll see.
Reverse choke slam. Reverse choke slam was my finishing move.
Right on.
Oh, Vecna's coming too, Joe.
Yeah, Vecna's coming.
That's only funny on Off-World. That's turned into its own thing too, because it's a gag for the show. Like I don't have anything against that figure. We just do it to be funny for the show.
Right.
And I've actually had people message me, like private message, like, "Hey, I've got an extra of that figure if you want it."
like, did you watch the show?
Yeah, it's just kind of a gag,
Yeah, I'm like,
but it's funny on that show.
Okiatis and Vitus, I'm just not a fan of, and some people just can't. I'm sorry. Kevin says, love that everyone is so approachable. I had a friend with me at Toylanta, and he was shocked at how friendly everyone was. He is now all in on ML. Nice. And in the Cabal. Cool, man. I love to see that. Be awesome to have one in Oregon. I don't travel very well these days. My road is a rough one. Hang in there, man. If you can get there, get there.
Oh, sorry, Jordan. I thought everybody knew that wrestling wasn't real.
No reason to oil up, Curtis. No reason to oil up.
I mean, you can if you want, Curtis. We're not gonna.
There's a reason, Curtis, but not for the choke slam. Baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna accept you for who you are. If you want to throw oil on, you oil up, buddy.
We ain't gonna shame you. Oh man. Comments for days. Anyways, okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the Enter the Crossroads, Choose Your Path.
Mm-hmm.
What's you guys' thoughts on that? Like, what was your first initial interpretation or thought on that?
Cosmic and Mythic Armory, 2 separate lanes. Just going in, choose your path.
I never thought about that. Okay. Who else?
I'm kind of with Rob that it could either be that or it could be just 2 different, whatever the armor experience is going to be. It could be just like, I'll throw it out here. You could have barbarian on one side, dwarf on another, or male character on one side, female on the other, something like that.
So you guys are thinking
initially, I thought of it as the Choose Your Own Adventure books, and if you think of it that way, when you pick a point, you move on to the next. It's not like you can go back and pop. There might be different paths, multiple paths that you can take through this, depending on where you start. And maybe you can have different experiences every time you go through. I don't know. Choose Your Own Adventures was, I think, I know Big G has a shirt that has the old book covers. I used to love those things.
Yeah, I did too, man. That's
what I initially thought. It's like multiple stories, multiple different ways with all the different parts. You can make different popping spots with multiple different types of things. Like now you got the Undead Builder packs. I mean, you can just make figure upon figure with different styles of that alone. Yeah, I don't know. That was my initial thought. Initially, it was like Choose Your Own Adventure could go multiple ways. How far they want to take it.
I do have a question though for the group here. If it's skeletons, do you think we'll ever get Brett out of the room?
Right. I had an armory. Every time I was in armory, he was there in the tray. I'm like, Jesus.
He's gonna be first in line, turn around and lock that door. Nobody else is getting in.
Nobody wants no mustaches, Curtis. Stop it.
Rick, have you been bumping Bone Thugs this week? I was bumping Bone Thugs in Harmony this week for some reason. I don't know why. I was just doing it, man. Thuggish ruggish. My thought, I don't know. I didn't think Armory. For some reason, the Crossroads, I was thinking Crossbones. And they got a skeleton there. I'm thinking pirates. I'm thinking, some nautical adventures. And that was what, popped up in my mind.
That's just a small picture, though. When you zoom out, it could be something way different.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, you're right.
Well, yeah, there's been some talk lately about the expansion of the map too. So, a Crossroads. This is not a prediction because I'm terrible at that stuff and I don't do it. But I'd like to see it. The Crossroads splitting off to different continents so that we see different. What the different areas of mythos are. Now that we know that it's an entire planet and not just a continent. So being a fan of Dungeons and Dragons and like the Forgotten Realms world of Faerun, there's in Eastern and in a jungle area with dinosaurs and there's all these crazy different things that are around the classic high fantasy main continent. So it would be I'm just really anxious to see how crazy these expansions are going to be, when we go to these other continents, like what is going to be there. I hope it's some stuff that knocks our socks off, but not at a con, because then Curtis would be mad.
Don't be talking about knocking your socks off. That means we all have our toes out, and
right. Exactly.
That might not go over well.
Could it be tied with the role-playing game, like a character creator kind of thing? I mean, it could be. It could be.
But
only one of us here knows.
I actually have no idea what that means. And
really,
first time I saw that was when he posted it. There's a lot that goes on in a text chain between George and Eric and Jeremy and Chris that most of us have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. And I love Trevor's thing where it's like, yes, he's an employee, but he's like, I like to be surprised. So don't tell me everything unless I need to know. I like the surprise too. So
he sees all the pictures. He gets all the figures early, so he sees all that. But
yeah,
I have no idea what the process is now. I don't think it's Armory, but you never know.
You never know.
I don't know. Now that you talked about that skull being back there, if you think about it, when you get the 4-pack of the skeletons, it mentioned them coming back in the fall. It doesn't necessarily say there will be a 4-pack or something else. Now this is the second time we've seen skeletons and talking about the fall. I don't know what that means, but there's been 2 allusions to the fall now. And both of them have pictures. Well, one is from the undead skeleton builders, the graveyard, and now we get one with the Legion's Con. So I don't know. That's all we've seen so far.
Yeah.
So I know whatever it's going to be, it's going to be amazing. And I'm going to open up my wallet.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh yeah.
Like you guys were talking about when I'm just here for the toys.
Alluding to the wave or the new wave at G-Con. We don't know if it's alluding to the Armory. We don't know what it's alluding to.
We'll know in, what is it, 202 days, Blake?
Yeah.
202 days. Well, that's still the kickoff, yes. But many of us will be there before 202 days.
I'll be there next weekend.
There was a small group there Tuesday night. Big Dub, Curtis, Jordan, Van, a couple other people.
Tuesday night, man.
Yep.
I wish.
I'll be there Wednesday. I get a Wednesday evening.
I booked Thursday through Monday. But
what day do they have intern? Is that the Thursday or Wednesday?
Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, and it bounces into G-Con on Friday.
And G-Con is Friday, so the nothing is open, just G-Con, right? Like you can't you can't buy anything. That's kind of the setup day, I think. For
Yeah, there's no setup until after G-Con over.
Right.
I was going to ask you, Cookie, when do you guys start like your, the ramping up, like getting like, can you walk us through that a little bit? Are you able to?
I mean, they started with the dios and the statue last year. I don't probably a couple months before, just to get everything ready. Product side, we start bringing it over there the Wednesday before. At least last year we did. We had the room on the Wednesday, so we were able to get all our product into the room on Wednesday. So then come Thursday, we could focus on intern, and then Friday was G-Con, so we're already ready to go. With some last things we had to set up, but it was nice to be able to get in there a day early just to like get it done with and get it over with. Intern last year, it's not super busy for me and my guys, because what we do is get the product ready. The day of sales, we do that, but we had a container come last year, so that was
I remember that.
That was a good time.
That's right.
Can I ask what was that container? Was it
that container had? I want to say it was the retailer wave. So like the figure obscuras and the Vikenfell figure and the Fisher Rice.
Okay.
I think it's what, and then the small balance of Armory standards on there, and I think that's what it was. Nothing like secret, like. Yeah, that was a surprise. It wasn't a surprise, but we weren't very happy about it. But
now, can I ask Cookie? So, I was an intern, and I was kind of asking Cornboy about the warehouse because I kind of wanted to see it, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll take you over there." And so we were kind of walking around, and I wasn't looking at the boxes per se, just kind of marveling at all the how everything was organized. And then you said to Cornboy, "Hey, he can't go over there. There's something over there. Can you say what that was now, or is it still?"
Yeah, it was Ghost of Christmas Past.
Okay. Yeah. Was it open in the boxes, or what is it?
Well, it was just there's just pallets over everywhere. So
okay.
You probably wouldn't have figured out what it was by looking at it because the name's not spelled out on the case.
Okay.
But
I didn't want to know what it was, but I was curious at what it was. Like if the dragon was just sitting there, or
no, we try not to let anybody over. It's because you never know what could be sitting out or.
Yeah, I turned around. I'm like, I don't want to know what it is. I want to be surprised. I don't want to end up in a box and you guys never see me again.
I remember coming over there. I remember that.
Yeah, you're like, hey, there's stuff over there. Cornboy's like, oh, never mind. I'm like, okay, tour's over.
We've had Ganesh for a little while, and Brad does interviews in there, and it's like, well, Ganesh, the Ganesh boxes are in the interviews. It's like, well, these are going to air afterwards anyway. It doesn't matter, but you always got to be thinking like what's in there,
right.
Like.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like, so you guys stage stuff at the studio or in the warehouse, like to take over to Legion's Con.
Yeah, Jeremy will give me the pick list of for every show. Could be Con or whatever, but Legion's Con's our biggest one. But I'll get a pick list and I'll go through, and if I have space, I can stage it. If not, we pull it the day we load it. It depends, Yeah. So, and then we have a van now. So the van is not even most of our shows that we drive to. The van takes everything. Legion's Con, we run a truck. Well, Legion's Con, we got to bring the product, the statues, the cases, everything. So it's several trips back and forth, bringing stuff over. So.
Yeah, that room that you guys that just had your products was huge. I mean, it was like Raiders of the Lost Ark with all these boxes. How did you know like how to set them up? Did you set them up like Unknown One or Airtheer or were there mixed boxes? Like how did you?
You mean like the con in the where the store was behind the curtain back there?
Yeah.
We try to set it up by wave if we can. But it comes in off the truck so fast. Sometimes we just kind of like throw it wherever, and then we figure it out later. But yeah, we mostly had to set up either by deluxe figure or by standard figure or by wave, because we had the refresh. We had the Poxus was the big wave I think we had at the time. But you know, then there's like, you know, this side of the room has like the builder wave on it. It all depends. But yeah.
And so like you were kind of like the guy that would be like kind of going to get stuff, or was somebody else who go get stuff, but you would kind of be there kind of like making sure that just one of certain figures like the skeleton or the Ninian.
So the Ninian was just put out as we needed it. And I think we wanted to make sure we had enough for Sunday too. But skeleton was like, we only had a few cases, so it was like put them out sporadically as the day would go on. But yeah, like the skeleton and the Ninian were kind of my thing. And then, you know, Malice was there and Vern was there and Dustin was on the door, and they would just keep going back because we started a whole new thing with the shelves and the grid wall. So there was less product on the floor. There was a lot of product out there, but less of each thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to keep constantly bringing more out. And every once in a while we bring out something different. You know, we'd have like half a case of something. We just bring it out randomly throughout the day.
I love that. That's why I was in line for the studio look first, like, because I just want to see what's there. Like I picked up Iron Knight, Steel Knight, Female Deluxe Legion Builder.
You got all the good stuff, Greg. We get it, dude.
Some black feather wings. I'm like, I never even seen these before.
Oh yeah, yeah. We just
sorry, Rob.
Our clear out like, bring everything.
So who? Sorry, I don't mean to just be interviewing you. I hope this is interesting for you guys too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love listening to stuff.
Hey, you get a superstar in here, you got to focus on the superstar. You don't put Jordan on the bench. Come on.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
When Cookie talks, we listen.
Who figures out the like putting stuff away? So like at where was it at? MuskyCon? There were some Valiant Knights.
Right.
Or, you know, like who organizes that and figures that out and decides, hey, let's throw out some, you know, a Hera, or let's throw out some Zarias, or let's throw out an older kind of figure. Like, who figures that out and puts boxes of stuff away and puts it?
Like who figures out what to bring, or who figures out what to put out to show?
What to bring?
Well, Jeremy mostly figures out what we bring. Every once in a while, Diego will throw some ideas out there, and but Jeremy's like the main guy who figures out the pick list, and then we'll be like, or like, you know, let's bring this, people like that, and then what we put out of the show depends on who's running the show. Like MuskyCon, that's Travis's show. He kind of makes the decision. But it's something like ToyCon or like
I was thinking, I meant ZoloCon. I didn't mean MuskyCon. I meant ZoloCon.
So ZoloCon, if Jeremy's there, it's his show usually. Like he's like, we go to him for what he wants kind of to do.
Does he have like a check sheet? So like,
it's in. We know it's in his head, I guess. But it's not. He knows what we brought, and I guess at ZoloCon, I had a case of like mixed match things, so we would just randomly throw them out. Yeah, we had like one Vetus we threw out on the table, and you know, or we had like two or three like a couple of Bodricks went out there, like just
I grabbed an Artemis version 2 was there.
Yeah.
And Jeremy's like, we just put this out, and I think Bardrick was there too. He's like, we just put these out. There's only what's here is what's here, and I was like, oh crap, let me grab that.
Yeah, it was kind of like we were, you know, I have a couple cases in the studio that are like one or two figures, like not enough to put up on the site, not enough to bring to a show. I'm like, let's just bring them, get rid of them. I want the space. So it's just it's a constant struggle for space. So.
Right. Now going forward, so at this Legions Con, will there be old stuff like there was at last year's?
I don't know.
Good question.
I had to ask.
Good question.
Yeah, I you know I can't say that.
Yeah, you're right. I had to ask. Heinrich, you said you had a question?
No. I said good question. Oh. You know what? I will say this. It was an experience going through that Legion shop because I didn't go Saturday and I'm going Sunday. And you know, Cookie, you and Vernon and everybody were just hustling getting those figures out there. So it was awesome. You know, it was fun. You know, I mean, the whole experience was just so much fun. And everybody in line was so cool. Everybody, oh, hey, did you see this? Oh, look at that. What are you looking for? I mean, one of the most awesome things was just the people, you know,
Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely like a learning curve for us because that was the first time we did a setup like that. And like normally our line just flows down the table and goes to checkout. Well, the line was breaking up in the room, so we'd have a line to come in and a line for checkout. Then we had to figure out when to stop the line coming in because the line for checkout was going outside the room.
Yep.
So we figured it out pretty quick, but it was a whole new world for us. So hopefully we'll go into it knowing a little more.
I think it worked good because it was kind of like it became kind of like a shop for you guys. So like, you know, you let in, say, I don't know how many you left in, like 10 people or something, and people would be able to browse and look around, you know, at their leisure. And then when they were done, they would, you know, have their box or basket or whatever, and then go and check out.
Everybody would beeline right to the minion table, bypassing everything else, then going back and looking at everything else. So it's kind of like the line just disintegrates once it walks through the door. But we figured out a good place. You know, if the line got to the corner of the one room for checkout, you don't let anybody else in. You know, kind of like because we have people in the hallway with like product waiting to pay, and that's not good.
Right. You got Dustin standing here like this too, man.
Yeah, he's no joke. He didn't let like we told him nobody comes in, and he didn't let anybody. He didn't let Dan's wife in. We had done like no, that's Dan's wife. She can come in. Like,
yeah, she's all right. Yeah, let her in. So Bill is asking, I haven't been to a con this year. What have the prices been like? Are all standard figures 50 now, or just the newer waves?
Oh boy. So here's what I'll tell you currently is like so Necro standards are 50. Armory figures are 45.
Mm-hmm.
Old standards like Poxus Wave standards, they're 40. Like the price matching with the retailers is started with Necro. So I think anything older is going to stay the same. So like all the Cosmic standards are 40. The refresh figures like they're 40 still.
Okay.
But anything newer, like all the Necro figures are at the new price. So standards are 50. Topeka is like 55. You will be starting a Toy Con. We have a whole new price labeling system we're going to try out because our number one question is after do you have any skeletons is what are the prices? And before we could be like a standard it's $40. Well, that means you have to know what a standard is because like you have a price list. Oh, deluxes are 50. What's a deluxe? Nobody knows. So now everything should have its own price listed with it, and we're trying it out at Toy Con this weekend.
So are you guys going to you will have like a price list that's posted somewhere?
It's not a price list. Like price list, we have 87 SKUs. Price lists don't really work anymore. Everything's gonna be labeled on the shelves. So hopefully, in theory.
Okay.
So we're trying it out new this weekend, so we'll see how it goes.
I'll take some pictures for people that aren't able to make it, and post them so people can see how it's set up and stuff. So, thanks for all the info, Cookie. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. You guys have anything else to say about that stuff or anything that we talked about?
Just looking forward to seeing the stuff at the cons, man.
Me too, man. I love seeing the table and just what's there. I'm like a kid, even if it's stuff I have already or already. It's like just the excitement. That's why me and Brett are there so goddamn early. It's just because we're just kids, getting able to see all the presents, in front of the tree and just the excitement.
Yeah, I like walking shows and seeing all my guys in line first. Like it's a good feeling.
Absolutely.
It reminds me a little bit of back in the day, like when I started collecting G.I. Joes and Star Wars, and you'd walk into Toys R Us and you'd see the wall of stuff. And, walking into a Walmart or Target today, it's disheartening. I mean, the shelves are 3/4 empty all the time. Even Lego's half empty all the time. So, to go to a show and see the setup that you guys have, Cookie, or even the street teams have. Like when I walked into Maryland Toy Expo last year and saw what, the Wolf King had out, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool to see everything.
Yeah, Len is no joke. We kind of like we borrowed his. We were inspired by Len for our new setup. So hopefully, there's just a bunch of toys on the table. Everything's on shelves now, and we saved the grid wall for Legion's because grid wall's a giant pain in the ass.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure, but no, it's fun. It's great to see. Like I said, it kind of gives you that joy that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, that was my first Legion's Con, and walking into that room was like walking into a toy store. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Everything hanging on the shelves.
Because it used to be like a line, like it was like a cafeteria line.
Yeah.
So like when you got in the door, finally, then you would have to wait. So like the table, everything was lined up. So there would be like, here's Cosmic. And so if you didn't want anything from Cosmic, you'd like take another step. But
I've seen those pictures of people holding their boxes and just filling them up. But this seemed pretty.
It worked, but this way is nicer because you can take your time.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I was allowed, but I would kind of hung out. Like I would wait and see, what's Vern going to bring in. It's like, if a peg was empty, then I would wait to see what was going to be next or what they would put in there. And then Cookie be like, let's go. Come on, keep going. Keep moving. Keep it moving.
I had to watch the door so Dustin was eating lunch or whatever. So I was watching the door. These two guys went to walk in. I'm like, hey, you can't go in. You get the line. It's like, we just want to go in and look. I'm like, that's not how this works. Like, this isn't like you want to look like you wait in the line to go in and look. You don't.
Right. You got to watch these guys.
It's cutthroat over there.
Yeah. So, big news was the Figure Obscura drop yesterday. Beautiful. Ganesha. Who picked up? Who passed?
I did not pick it up. No.
Yeah, how can you? This one's a hard one to pass on.
I did pick it up.
I think
I
it's
picked it up. It is beautiful. I showed my neighbors, and I might have sold a few to people who aren't even in the line.
Good man.
Well, I live in a community that is got a large population from the Eastern culture, and just showing them pictures of this, and I mean, my next door neighbor was just stunned that this isn't a statue. The fact that you can actually pose, I'm pretty sure he bought it when he went back inside. It's from people who actually believe in the faith in my neighborhood. This is just outstanding. I mean, head to toe, just these are the statues. They all they have these 9-10 inch statues in their house. The fact that it's posable was just absolutely amazing. I love it for the fact that it represents what it is. But I mean, I had said on the chat that if this was going to be what it was, this is something that'll cross a big line of culture.
Oh yeah,
this thing is amazing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece.
I can't speak enough of it.
Yeah, this piece in Monkey King, I think they resonate in the word ornate. They just have so much detail and ornateness to their presentation. I mean, all the Figure Obscuras are really cool. I have every one of them, and I enjoy them very much. But for some reason, the Monkey King and, of course, this one, Kanesha, just that, I think it's that cultural dress and just their cultural fiction is so ornate. It's just an absolutely beautiful piece.
Yeah, I love the ornateness about it. Definitely. I mean, I love that they also respected the community.
Look at that. Digging them.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Look at that.
Ooh.
Oh,
Beautiful. Thanks, Cookie.
Thank you, Cookie.
Yeah, that's. I love that they respected the community, and they wanted to make sure that they did the right thing, and it's
yeah, it's super cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I bought two initially, and then I went back and bought a third late yesterday because I'm so impressed. I love the detail of the elephant head, and I'm a fan of the poacher that Eric did sculpted way back in the day with McFarlane Toys. I still have mine, and I'm just totally floored with this. The soft goods by C.J. Jessam, the uniqueness of this character, the respect that the Four Horsemen Studios had to do the research and find out if this would be acceptable and doing it. I mean, this is just amazing. I kind of joked around with my wife last night. I'm like, it's a shame Big Bang Theory TV show is over because I could build a whole episode of somebody giving this to Raj and seeing Raj's, his just seeing is like, oh my God, an action figure, based on one of my gods. He would go nuts.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Can you turn it around a little bit, Cookie? Can we see a little different angles? Man, that's sweet, man. What a shelf presence too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not. So, I mean, I have all the figure obscura, but I'm not. They're way too busy for me. Like I like. So I'll get them. I'll do whatever to them. I'll put them on a shelf and never touch them again. This guy, like the Monkey King, is way too much going on for me. So I put him on. Took him out of the box, put him on the shelf.
Yeah.
This guy messed around.
Nothing wrong with that. I wanted to, and I'm not focusing on negative at all, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the post. Jordan brought it up earlier about, it being too much work. Someone made a post like these are not fun anymore. It's too much work.
I'm actually just reading that right now because somebody sent that to me.
I mean, the person has a fair, like, I get it. Like when I saw it yesterday, I was like, and I saw Bill's review. I don't mind if a figure is busy or if it's got a lot of, this guy said it was a lot of work for it or they're finicky or whatever. Like, I don't have a problem with it being a display piece. Like Cookie said, you pose it and you put it on the shelf. It's shelf presence. Like, I don't need to go outside with it and do like a bunch of different like pictures or different poses, action poses or whatever. That figure is not for that in my mind. And I'm okay with that. And if you don't want it, if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. But just admire it for the craftsmanship and how cool it is.
I haven't seen that. What was the post about?
Just about the guy was saying that it was just a text.
He's saying that there's a growing imbalance between playability and difficulty. Like it's just the figure itself, like the playability.
Well, you could get on eBay and go buy some 1970s Star Wars figures.
Yeah, it's like
just go play with this 5 POAs and leave the rest of us to enjoy our figures. Now, I was going to say, I'm excited about this. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm a fan of 4 Horsemen elephants.
Oh yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
These are pretty darn cool.
I've never seen those in person.
I did a little. You're going to have to come over, Greg, because I got them all, buddy. There's a pink one. That's how cool they are.
Wow.
But, these are cool. So cool and so well done.
And so rare.
I actually did a little happy dance when I saw that. Now, I wasn't familiar with the character as far as the religion and history of it. I didn't know anything about it. It's super cool to get to learn about new things. But the fact that it's an elephant character had me doing a dance of joy. So
yeah,
I'm super jazzed about it.
And I love the diversity. I love, seeing something new and different. I was kind of like, what parts are we going to see on this new figure obscura? What is it going to be? And they blew it away. Like I think Jeremy said, it's so much new stuff. What was that, Cookie? I'm sorry.
So much new stuff on it.
Yeah. But
it's something for everyone. These, yes, I like to put these in and keep them together. I'm probably going to get a DTOF and show each one on each shelf, but I got my pocket toys too in the same line. Mm-hmm. You can pick and choose if you want. I mean, they're giving you kind of everything. If you don't like it, just move on to something you kind of like.
You don't got to buy it all, right? That's what they say.
I mean, you're getting these highly articulated ones now. Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't bother you, Joe, though. Like, if it bothers you that this is an issue, then don't buy it. Like, there's other toys within this line that you can throw in a backpack and carry it around with you wherever you want to go.
I don't see
Get those. Just have fun.
You need to tell the cabal or anywhere that I don't want to buy it. Who cares if you don't want to buy it? Why do you got to?
Oh, that's.
I'm with you on that, and there's nothing wrong with starting a conversation, but I think if it has a negative kind of connotation to it, It's like, why? But
So-
like you said, it's like I don't need to see, and this is just my personal. I don't need to see you posting what you bought or what you didn't buy. Like I don't. I'm happy for you, but like
I like to see what people buy. I don't care what you don't buy.
Like we
That's just the bottom line.
we all have toys.
That's fair.
We all have buddies in the
Yeah.
toilet. Like I feel like if I see a GI Joe come up, I think it sucks. I text Len. I'm like, Len, this thing sucks. What I don't do is go on GI Joe's Facebook.
Right.
Like, but I feel like a lot of these people don't have an outlet, right? Like they don't have a buddy they can text and be like, this thing sucks. So they got to go to the Cabal or they got to go to like Dorkwares group, whatever. You know, like I don't know. I don't see the need to be like, not for me. Oh, we're not a Monkey King household. Like who cares? Nobody cares.
right.
Thanks, but no thanks, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not for me. That's okay.
You know what is cruddy about that, and I hate when I'm super excited about something, and then there's a bunch of people saying that they don't like it. Like just let me have my thing, you know.
Right.
Like, let me be excited. You know.
What?
A lot of people feel like they need to be heard. And to Cookie's point, if they don't have an outlet, a healthy outlet or a group of people they can be heard by, they take to the internet, social media, and then they just want to, they throw out whatever they can. Sometimes I think some of these people just do it just to get a reaction so they're heard, so they feel like, I don't know, but not needed, right?
Yeah,
It's
really,
unfortunate that the internet gave people the thoughts that their opinions matter. So.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech is a First Amendment right, but it doesn't mean everyone wants to hear your freedom of speech.
Right, absolutely.
Well, I think the other thing too is that when you're slanting this stuff, like, and I see Curtis kind of posted, is that, are we ready to have the discussion? And are you ready to agree with me? Because it's one thing to say, I'm going to throw out the Armory Knights, because, hey, listen, do you like the green one or the red one? Or do you like the black one? Do you like, well, that's just a personal preference, and that's okay that you have your personal preference. Hey, I want to build an army of purple knights. Go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. They look cool. All the knights look cool. I don't think there was a single knight that showed up that I could say, well, I didn't like that one. It just was like, what's your preference on colors? It's like, that's cool, but it's okay to say, hey, this is what I can do. I liked all the people that did the Christmas where they mixed the red and the green. It's like, here's a Christmas tree knight. Perfect. Looks great.
Yeah, that was cool.
But that's a discussion that you can have. It's not like, hey, you're wrong for liking that purple knight. No, you're not. You're not wrong for liking or disliking, but you don't need to like throw somebody under the bus because you like the purple knight.
Agreed. Sometimes I think one of the struggles with humanity in general is people forget how to agree to disagree and move on and still get along with one another. It's not, this world is not about everything that you think it's about. And so in this toy collecting community, I think that's where that comes out as people get so passionate or the lack of, I can't buy it, this hatred or this negativity comes out. And instead of embracing the positive and keeping your mouth shut and not, as I think somebody said, crapping on my Cheerios, the end result is they want to open up and they feel like they need to share. And the end result is don't share.
Right.
Like keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
I agree. Bill says, I don't mind someone saying I don't like it or I'm not buying it. What bothers me is when someone says they are being attacked for not liking it. That's the BS of it.
No, you're being attacked for not being quiet. That's what it is.
So
Yes.
Jeremy responded to the guy's post. He said, this is Jeremy, what he said. Not every figure is going to be a simple out-of-box piece of hand candy. And that's basically using Bill's term for tuberculi, I believe. Some figures like Ganesha are designed to be fairly complex, and as such, they will require some work. Your suggestion that we didn't test drive this new figure is incorrect, however. We simply accept that sometimes small sacrifices in posability or playability must be made in order to achieve the item that we have envisioned. That all being said, I would push back on your argument that our recent releases are inversely proportional to user friendliness. Yes, we've had some very complex figures like Necronominus himself that require some assembly, but here are 3 very recent released figures that are overflowing with out-of-the-box play value and little to no work at all. You are certainly entitled to your opinion about not wanting to work to enjoy your toys, but we aren't ready to paint every release with the same proverbial brush. We will continue to push the limits on these collectibles, and sometimes that complexity will require extra work, and sometimes it will limit certain points of movement. The good news is that there will also be lots of other releases that are indeed that aforementioned hand candy, and hopefully there will be plenty of items available that meet the framework of what you like to play with. And so he posted the pictures of the graveyard skeletons, the Ninian and the Barbarian, as hand candy or things that are fun you could put in your pocket or your backpack and go and take pictures and stuff.
Well said, Jeremy.
Well said.
That was a great
Yeah,
response.
great response.
Bravo.
Yeah.
What he said, that not every figure is going to be the same. We don't want, like I'm not downing Reaction or Super 7, but not every figure is going to be exactly like the next figure, and we don't want that. Like, we want diversity. We want, different things, different pieces. I'll take that complex. Necronominus is a freaking work of art. I'm looking at it right now in awe. No, I'm not going to take it outside and pose it when my dogs come and smell it and look at it. But it's fine on my shelf. It's a beautiful piece. I will take that gladly, just like I'll take the Barbarian. Like I want that mixture, and I trust the Horsemen to do that balance of eye candy versus hand candy. Like, I don't mind that. I mean, I want that,
Everybody
Agreed.
has their own preferences. I know a criticism for a long time has been the lack of articulation. And I'm actually, my personal likes are the opposite. I don't like the look of over articulated figures. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. I don't need to go out and, I'm not going to Marvel Legends groups and being like, well, these figures look like crap because there's too much articulation. It's like, it's okay to have an opinion and just kind of keep it to yourself too. Jeremy handled it very diplomatic. I think that's great for him. I don't know. Everybody likes different stuff. That's okay.
Yeah.
Some people like chocolate better than vanilla, or strawberry better than chocolate. Like that's all fine. We don't have to go on a ice cream fan site and like start posting, what you think is your favorite things.
Glyos. There you go.
So some people like Glyos. They're not superposable. Not all of them, but they're phenomenal for what they are. Everyone has a niche, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, shout out to Matt Dowdy. Thanks for finding these for me, buddy. These are awesome.
Those are awesome.
So yeah, collect what you like, enjoy it.
I was gonna mention the Transformers world now. I'm personally one that still loves to transform the Transformers. There's obviously a large population anymore that doesn't want to deal with that. That's why 3-0, YOLO Park, all these places are making these non-Transformers. It's one or the other. Like, don't buy a Transformer robot and then complain about it. It's too much work. Get the one that doesn't transform, put it on yourself, play with it, and have a good time. Like, there's options. Like,
you're right, Brendan. I love the 3-0 Transformers. What I find is the Transformers, when I buy them, the older ones, which I love, don't get me wrong, I'm a Transformers fan, but sometimes transforming them, I forget how to do it. And I like their robot mode or whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? That's how I want to display them. And 9 times out of 10, even if they transform, I don't move them back and forth all the time, right? And so, yeah.
For us older people, YouTube is a great thing to find out transformations. People do them all the time.
Absolutely.
Like, I collect third party, and a lot of those don't come with instructions. If you can't figure it out, the only place to go is YouTube.
I like MGO. He does a good just transformers for all the Transformers.
MGO is great for transformations. I use him all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna come through, but these are my Transformers.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! Cookie! Holy crap!
Look at that!
Wow.
We need to talk.
Cookie.
Transformers is my main squeeze.
Oh yeah, I don't have him down here.
And I'm happy to see that not only I have my living room dedicated to my toys.
Oh my! Everything but the kitchen and the bathroom is poison. So.
I love that.
Love it.
I did.
Awesome.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
actually,
pick.
I recently got Megatronus the Fallen, and he's amazing. He's an amazing toy.
I'm waiting for him to come in. I'm getting the 13 primes. The 3 I gotten so far are amazing. Solus and the other 2. Can't remember. The Constructicons. Holy crap. If you want to, those are so easy to transform. You literally, if you know anything about Transformers, you could do it without looking at them.
The new ones.
Yeah. The Constructicons are so simple.
Yeah,
You look at it, it's like this folds here, this folds here. Okay, this goes here, and you're done. And they're solid. I was very surprised at how at the plastic that they're using now.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, these modern Transformers are awesome. I love them.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about it. We could talk Transformers all day. That's another show, though.
Remember, did you have Transformers on the list today?
I can't. I have no I don't know anything about Transformers. So
no, it's cool. It's always cool to hear. My youngest brother, so he's 3 years younger than me. He just turned 50 last year, but he was an original Transformers collector when they came out. So he had everything. And the funny part was because he had the smallest room, he didn't have any shelves to display anything. So he would have like all the combiners and Optimus Prime and all that. He would keep the boxes because he could stack up the boxes in his closet easy. And so he had the boxes and the boxes got beat up from, you take stuff out, play with it, put it back in. But he had everything. He had, Optimus, he had Megatron, he had the aerial bots, he had the Constructicons, he had all the dinosaurs, Dinobots. I mean, he had so much, everything that came out he was getting. So, but it's cool. I always appreciate it. I had a couple. I did pick up. I'm going to show it off, even though it's not show and tell yet. But I picked this up because I saw it at Bella's, and it's one of the Blokies.
Yes, they are so much fun.
Yeah, so they're little small dudes. Oops, and so you can put them together. I was looking at it. I haven't put it together yet, but I opened up the map to kind of look at it. It's cool. They're little. You put it together, and then they look really cool. They're figures. So I was like, I'll get an Optimus Prime just to have it and check it out. So.
Yeah, I think Transformers are cool. I stopped collecting them and I never went back, but I think they're awesome. I like that Yellow Park stuff. I think that's the one that Robo is always talking about. So maybe when I'm at Brendan's house, I will check out the stuff that he's got there.
You're gonna see a lot.
Yeah.
I saw Curtis talk about the Fencer. I just got one of his guys in.
Oh, nice.
This is the masterpiece.
Nice.
Yeah, these things are unbelievable. I haven't even seen it yet.
Are those made by Hasbro or is that a different?
This is made by X Transbots.
So
They're a third-party company. They've been making them since 2008.
Wow.
They come nice pressed foam.
It's like a statue.
Ooh, nice.
So this is the arm piece.
Wow.
Fully ratcheted.
I love that ratchet, man.
Oh yeah.
And here is, they call him Paragon.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like an old school Toyota van.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's a nice clean underneath. These things are amazing.
Yeah, the seams are really tight on that. So you like when it's in vehicle mode, it looks like a vehicle nut.
Not just that.
Thanks, Iz, for stopping by.
A lot of these, the doors open.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
So not only do they function as cars, also some of them have engines in them. But
Wow.
this separates.
Sweet,
That'll separate here. It'll become the arm, along with this other piece. But this is the arm of the Masterpiece Defensor. That's
Wow.
how large they get.
Damn.
Impressive.
Very nice, sir.
currently I'm putting together this, and I have Magic Square's Bruticus, which I think is going to be a couple inches larger than this thing.
We
love
already
these things.
talked about it earlier. He said, don't forget to come to the Mythic Meetup on May 3rd in Citrus Heights near Sacramento. So I hope you guys get a huge turnout. I hope there's more on the West Coast, also in Oregon and Washington. Yeah, thanks, Iz, for stopping by, man. Appreciate you.
That's one of the largest benefits of going to the West Coast Mythic Meetup is that you get to meet Iz, who is a super awesome dude.
Absolutely. I got to get Miz on my show at some point.
An undercarriage treatment.
If I can. I wanted to talk about Intern real quick. Intern is coming. I know we're kind of jumping around a little bit. I had a list of things that I wanted to talk about real fast. Intern is coming, I think next month, he said. They're going to open up the lottery for the selection for interns. I don't know how long the process is, but I recommend everyone that really loves the studio to and the toys to check out Intern. It's just an amazing experience. Is there anything that you guys have to do, Cookie, for prep for Intern?
I mean, there's tons of stuff. Mostly it's cleaning and making sure the place is like presentable. Figuring out where we're gonna put everybody. Like every year things are different. So like sometimes there's a big room, a big studio on the main floor with us that like Eric would do his thing in and would do the painting in. Well, then the next year we don't have that room, so we gotta figure out where we're gonna do all that stuff. Like last year we had the armory in the other building, so it was like just trying to the logistics of it all, just figuring out who's gonna go where and how Like right now, the main office is full of product, so that's all got to go away by the time the intern shows up. So where's all go? So it's just moving parts. But other than that, it's it's pretty straight. I mean, it's not my show. I kind of like hide in the background, but it's pretty straightforward. Everybody goes to different stations throughout the day and eat some lunch, and then do some painting. And go home.
That pizza was so good. Where was that pizza from?
Bella Notte. It's like right next door. There's a Quick Check next door, it's a little strip mall. And it's a pizzeria. Oh,
man, that was good. Damn.
We go, somebody from the studio goes there at least 4 times a week. Like there. That's our go-to place.
They got pizza by the slice there?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Brendan, you got to show me how to get there, man. I got to get some of that pizza.
Just walk out the door, you're there.
The funny thing is pretty much 90% of the places you go here are going to be good pizza.
Sounds like heaven to me.
Yeah. So where that armory was, Cookie, is that you guys' building too, or is that just like a loan kind of thing, or?
No, that's BB Props is like our landlord, I guess, and so that's one of his buildings. So I guess we borrowed that building or rented that building or something for the day. Just to be able to set up in there. So that's not. We're not in there right now. We have our office space and our warehouse space, and that's pretty much it. Mm-hmm. Anything extra is extra. So
it was a nice space though, because like it was right across from the studio.
Yeah.
In the parking lot, and you go up like 2 sets of stairs, and then there's the floor. It's a big floor. That's where the armory was, and then there's some stairs down past it, and that's where people were kind of having lunch, and that's where the delicious pizza was, and cookies and things, and other cookies and sodas and stuff. But yeah,
a couple years ago they were filming a movie in there, some Al Pacino movie. I forget what it was, but they dressed up like a 50s police station. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's some doors and stuff that they weren't using. It was kind of just the main area there that the armory was in. Was super cool. So
we had our holiday party over there, and then Diego had a birthday party in there. It's like a nice space.
So Kevin is asking how many get picked. I'm hoping this year going Thursday just in case.
I think it's my guess is 30, but I that's a guess. I think 25, 30.
Yeah, and then you get to bring someone.
Yeah, so everybody gets a guest. Tonight we're up to 60 people.
Yeah. Jeremy spoke about that. He said that last year was larger than normal because of the anniversary, that they were going to tailor it back this year. So, but he didn't give any specific numbers. He just said that, last year was the largest amount of invites because of the 25 and 10 anniversary.
There was a lot of folks there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
William asked, how does one apply? Jeremy will post something in
You get an email if you're signed up to the Four Horsemen email. You get an email.
So you fill out,
with
do
instructions.
do you want to apply for intern, and you mark hell yes. and then he doesn't post who won. It's up to you whether you want to proclaim that you won or just keep it to yourself. But he will let you know via email if you won at that point. He also says, hey, the winners have been announced. So
yes,
I kind of felt guilty, so I didn't want to be like, I won. I felt like I was grateful and happy, but I didn't want to shout it on the rooftops, even though I felt like it. I told my girlfriend, and she's like, oh, right on. And I'm like, no. I got picked. Like, she's like, oh, that's cool. That's awesome. But I was just so grateful. But I think anyone that's a true fan, if you have the ability to sign up for intern, it's awesome.
I'm going to try this year. I didn't put in for it last year because it was my first time going to a convention and I didn't want to overwhelm myself. But now that I'm more comfortable with the situation, I definitely want to give a shot at going to intern.
You should. It's amazing. Just to see where they work. You kind of get a shock at like how, and I don't mean this in a derogatory, how small it is. Like it's not a huge, it's not like walking into Willy Wonka, even though I felt like that.
Right.
But yeah, like you walk in the doors and there's like display cases and stuff of like older things that they've worked on and current things or whatever. And then you walk in and I think right there is where the wall is. And I should have put the pictures on the slides, but right there is the wall of all their figures and stuff. And that's just like, oh man, it's so cool. Like I want to reach up and grab like a Kestis or the older figures and and then there's like a sign that says welcome interns, and then to your right I think is George's, if I'm remembering wrong, it's George's office, and then next to that I think is Chris's office. I'm not sure. The door was closed on Chris's, so I couldn't even see in there. But George's, what, Cookie?
There's a mess in there.
It's a mess. Yeah. I believe that. Yeah, but George's office. Like I went in there and I was just like blown away. Like there's so much. It's like a toy room, but it's your work office.
Yeah.
Like there's just so much stuff to see in there. It's amazing. But just to be able to walk in there and see where people work, you see where Sherry works and Cameron and Bill and everybody. It's just an awesome, and Cookie's in the warehouse and everybody's. It's just so damn cool to see where the magic takes place.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse, welcome, Jesse. Jesse says there will be an email from Four Horsemen to apply, so that if you bought anything from them in the past, you're on the mailing list.
What is it called to do the intern thing?
300.
Yeah.
Yeah, 300. Yeah.
I mean, for what you get, it's a pretty good value, right? Like.
Yeah, that's a bargain for sure.
Absolutely. What's cool too is that this last year they had a QR code, because I was looking and somebody said, yeah, you can buy stuff. So I was like, oh, cool. And so when you're there, they put these QR codes on a wall, and you scan it, and it's like a shopping list. And so you pick what you want, and there's the prices or whatever. I think last year was like a lot of reissues and some boxes and stuff. And then I guess they build it there, Cookie, like you guys put it together.
Yeah. So what happens is we'll do a little inside baseball, right? It's kind of the same way we do the ISS. Well, Diego will print up a pick list, and we have product all over the building. So we'll get a pick list, and I'll go around the building picking everything first. Then I'll give me all the labels. So the way we used to do intern was a piece of paper. You wrote down the paper. We'd get all these papers and run around the place trying to pull all the stuff. And then give Diego the box of stuff with the paper. He'd call your name. You'd come up and you'd pay for everything. Now you scan it. You pay for it right then when you scan it. and then once the scanning is done, Diego gives us the pick list and all the orders, and we pull it with the regular orders. So it's way easier, way better, and it's nice. So and it's it's listed
A
alphabetically
lot
by
easier.
yeah.
Yeah, so you just pay for it on the
If you want to pay cash, you can pay cash separate, but most of it, who pays cash anymore for anything? So
exactly.
Yeah, the QR code is really nice because it just basically takes you into a Four Horsemen sub store, just like if you were buying anything on the Four Horsemen store, but it's a sub store that is QR accessed as the intern. And then you just like you check out, and then later on at the end of intern, Diego and the team just comes out, calls out your order, and everything's taken care of, and you just walk out with your items. It's really nice.
well, because previously we'd be like, these are the 15 things we're going to sell, and we pull enough of it out to have ready, and then you got to put it all back. This time we just listed whatever we wanted and then pulled it from the building, so there was no putting anything back. Definitely saved us a lot of time. Yeah.
So were you guys done, Cookie, with setting up Legion's Con by intern, or were you guys?
So we had the store like 80% set up. All the statues, all the dials were in the room with the store, so we can't put them out till after. Well, those go out during G-Con. Most of the dials and statues go out during G-Con. So the store is like 80% set up, and then everything's waiting. Everything's staged and waiting to go by the end of the day Wednesday. Because what we don't want to do is what we were doing last year was 2 years ago. We were making trips Thursday. We were making trips Friday. It was like this way. Everything was going over there. It was over there by Wednesday, and that was it. And then once G-Con ended, we had to set up the armory. We had to set up the registers. We had to finish. Had to set up the dragon diodes. So everything. But yeah, most of our
work for you guys.
Most of our setup is done on Wednesday. By the end of the day, Wednesday.
Okay.
I don't even go to the studio on Wednesday. Like I take the van home full of product. So I live about 8 minutes from the hotel.
Now hold on. So you take the van full of products home.
Uh-huh. Well,
okay.
The van, just the truck. So last year, the truck, we rented like a 18-foot box truck or whatever it was. That was full of product, and the van was full of product. Everything we needed for the store was like ready to go. So I bring the van home, and then Wednesday morning I go right from home right to the venue and start unloading. And everybody meets. Like George and Greg met at the warehouse. They grabbed the truck, and then everybody else met at the venue. Like my guys, it was like me and Vern and Dustin and Greg and George and Jeremy was there. Everybody else is back at the studio, kind of finishing up like the diodes and like Dan and Bill working on scapular still a little bit.
Oh, that scapular was gorgeous. Man.
We unloaded the trucks, and then Greg and George went back with the trucks to fill them up again with the diodes and the statues and stuff.
Where do you guys keep those statues? Is there a place for them, or are they in a warehouse?
Right now, they're all in the one hallway by Jim's old office. So.
Are they deconstructed, or
the statues are all built?
Nice.
Kurzaga's is in the main office by the lunch table, and then the other three are in the hallway. And some of the dials are built, some of them are broken down. Like the dragon.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Totally unrelated question. Anyone have Cookie's address?
No.
I live 5 minutes from the
If you need, hey Cookie, if you need security, let me know. I'll come stand by that night. I'll make sure everything is safe.
Absolutely. So
well, now we got to change my plan up because everybody knows it.
Right. Now, how do you guys feel about like the whole Legion's Con? Like, is it like a job? Like, are you like, God damn, like, here we go, like it's happening again? Like, are you excited? I know it's a lot of work.
I'll speak for me. It's a lot of work. I'm excited when it's over. It's also awesome just to see like the love and appreciation for like the line and for us. But it's the most work we do all year.
Yeah.
You're talking like 100-hour plus week, probably. Like we don't stop. Like I mean, just tear down. I drove over 3 hours back and forth to the studio and back. Just load the van up, bring it in, unload it, drive back.
Well, I remember seeing the where you guys kept the cases afterwards, after everything was shut down and closed, and like it was just like, man, and you guys looked like you were floored. You guys were kind of just sitting in chairs, you know, and just like, man, just the level of work and moving and logistics and all that, like that had to be like a relief that it was over, that it was done.
Oh, it's definitely nice when it's over. And then
Do you guys have like a something that you do traditionally afterwards?
no,
No.
we just go home and clean it all up and put it all away, and you know, move on with our lives. If we're in the middle of a shipping campaign, we go back to shipping. It's, you know,
So just back to normal on Monday.
yeah. Well, like we love it. It's, you know, we love doing it. It's just it's and it starts like that week is a bit like, you know, because we'll load up everything Tuesday night, drive to the venue Wednesday, Thursday's intern, Friday's decon and setup, Saturday Jeremy's got us there at 8 o'clock in the morning for some reason, and then the 2 days of show, then hours of tear down, and then right back at it on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's, you know, we love it. We love doing it though. It's a great time.
We appreciate you guys, man. I always try to tell you and all the guys, thank you guys so much, you know, for making it happen. We really appreciate all that work and effort. Always great to see you guys.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Now, my favorite part of the show, not the end, but almost the end, show and tell. So show and tell for people who have not been on the show is something that you've been like just enjoying and loving, or things that you know, you can't keep your eyes off of toy related. Doesn't have to be mythic. It could be whatever you want, whatever you're thinking, whatever you just got, whatever. Now is the time. So I'm going to go first since I'm the host. Usually I let other people go first. I'm going to go first. I got ATL from my buddy William Golden and also Mark. They kind of helped get this guy in. I do have a St. Gideon head on this one. I want to get more retail hits, but
Looks great.
Just love this figure. It's just so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Really look forward to the retail version, so I could get more. But just the glass. I love the camo pants on this guy and the tan boots. Really cool. And also, I'm going to throw in one more. I got this eraser, which is Operation Monster Force.
I had an eraser that looked like that in middle school, actually. Same color. Translucent.
Such an awesome. I can't wait to the regular version, but man, this figure is super damn cool. Love this figure. Love the company. They're really making some amazing stuff.
Yeah, Fresh Monkey Fiction's hitting it. Fresh Monkey Fiction and BBTS are killing it on that line.
Man, so much good stuff. And they're well made.
And now Gridiron's doing the weapons.
Yes, their guns are phenomenal. The gun, it's really solid. It's got, you know, you can take the clip out, which I know is not a huge thing now, but you can take the clip out, or magazine, whatever, sorry. And the silencer you can take off and on. It's just a well made all the way around. But yeah, Gridiron also is doing some amazing stuff. Look for
you're speaking like a true West Coast Los Angeles gangster there, G. The clip, huh? The clip.
Yeah, the clip. I was re-educated on that, but sometimes it still comes out in me. But yeah, I love that. But who's next? Who's got something?
I got a lot.
All right, go for it.
I'm going to try to get through it quick. So I picked this up hold on. As part of a eBay auction from Nikki Nicole. So it's a Darth Talon figure that is I probably need somebody expert. I think it's mostly 3D printed because I looked at it and I can't figure out the parts that follow it. So because I know the bottom of the feet there are no flip pegs. So but it's an amazing figure. It's beautiful. It's beautifully painted. Next is one of your favorites, Greg. I picked up the Mafex.
Oh yeah, love it.
And then I've picked up this weekend Van Helsing, played by Peter Cushing from the Hammer horror films.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then this one I picked up at Bella's. This is the Mafex. It's not Nightfall, but it is close to. It's got the Kelly Jones head on it. So it's one of my favorites because you've got the wired cape, extreme posability, comes with like different heads.
Yeah, that's a nice
And
figure. I
then-
don't have that one. I like that though.
I highly recommend. I got it for about 110, so it was a good price.
Yeah, I've got a few of
I'm
the Hutch figures, and they're nice.
Yeah, I'm going to combine my show and tell with a shout out. Shout out to Wolf King and to Jesse on these heads for the graveyard set.
I love
These
that.
are
head sculpt.
incredible.
We got to trade for that other head sculpt you got.
Yep. And these figures absolutely fun, enjoying them.
Jesse
I've got a
painted those?
graveyard setup. Jesse painted the heads.
Nice.
And
Good
then
job,
as I
Jesse.
mentioned earlier, my buddy Keon, who's been on the show, painted
Yes.
up the heads for me for the and
That's
also
fire,
gave me a cool cape.
Oh wow, nice little honeycomb
Take the
design
cape
there.
off. Yeah,
Nice.
Keon's got some great things coming up, and you'll see him at Legion's Con. And, yeah, a couple more here, real quick.
Nice. Very nice.
Glad I picked up a few extra Sir Elijahs because these are perfect. And then
Yeah,
I
need
picked
some
up.
more Sir Elijahs, I think.
I think they all do. And then I picked up John Brown Customs, that he had some one box that were painted. And so I picked this up and he had it shipped out. It's
Is that
painted
a
by
Brian Burke?
It's painted by Brian Ramos.
Yeah.
Who
But
sculpted
it's
that?
Brian Burke's, but the head is by
Yeah.
Brian Burke. And
Ron Burke,
this is-
Brian Ramos. Yeah.
yeah. So this is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So I had a tough time trying to figure out which figure to go on, and I picked out this one from the Army Knight. Curtis made a statement a while back about, between the Armory Knights and even these other the knights that came out with Necronomus, they're great for doing customs. They're great for
Yes.
building your armies out, and 100%
I
correct.
agree.
Man. I mean, I'm glad I picked up some extras, and I highly encourage anybody if you can, and if you like painting or if you're doing it, pick it up. And like I mentioned, Jesse did a phenomenal job on these painted heads. I'm just so impressed with them, and I'm hoping that Wolf King will do more sets like that because it was such a great deal for some of us that don't paint.
Absolutely. Good show and tell, man.
Thank you.
Who's next?
I can go.
All right, Joe.
I don't have much, but I
That's
did
all right.
pick up that Kai Lab set for the
Oh, I
skeleton.
need that. I love that.
And
man.
it's pretty slick. Like this is a nice layered set. It comes with a lot of different layers of cloth goods to put on there. So
Next
yeah.
one.
Anyways, it turned out pretty awesome. I like these
Now,
a lot. I
can
wouldn't
you
mind
use-
getting some more.
Can you use that, Joe, on other figures? Like, would that fit on a Valiant Knight or something? Or
So it yes, but the like you could put the tabard on, but the underlays are too small. You might be able to get them on a 2.0, but I don't know about you couldn't get them on a 1.0. The tabard and the belt definitely would. So there's a lot to it because it comes with like a shirt and then the chainmail piece that goes over that, and then the tabard that goes over that. So you could buy this and then split it up, have three different characters wearing different stuff if you wanted to. It's a pretty slick set. So
yeah, that's nice.
and then these aren't new, but I did
That's all right.
want to pull out my elephants. Thank
Thank you
I
for
got a couple
showing
more.
those.
So,
Beautiful.
So cool.
I freaking love these so much. Like Seventh Kingdom is probably one of my favorite toy lines of all time. These are just incredible. So there's a red one too, but I've only got two hands. So
That's all right, man.
all right, that's it for me.
Thank you for showing those, Joe.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's next?
Brandon?
Well,
All right, Brandon, what you got, buddy?
I ever showed the first aid, but these are the 2 Constructicons that are out right now. Got these guys in this week.
Nice.
I mean, they're I have to say, somebody who Hasbro's been cheap on their plastic. They've done something with the new releases. Got this from a friend.
Oh yeah,
Haven't opened it. That's going to be today.
you're gonna love it, dude.
It's heavy. I can't wait to see all the extra pieces in there. It's friggin'. There's a lot in there. Him, and then since it's Easter,
Yeah, I heard you got a box of some good stuff.
I got a couple of them, but I got them at ZoloCon, but I haven't opened them yet.
Okay.
So these ones are, so they're the stone colored.
Oh yeah, I pre-ordered those. Yeah, those look good.
So I got these and the 2 gargoyles, or the 2 demons.
Mhm.
Those are the 3 I got in that color. I want to have them in a background. That's why I saw them as being like statues almost.
Did Jesus escape the box this morning? That's awesome.
Other than that, I have to tell you, Necronominus is really killing my customizing because all I keep doing is popping and swapping everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 4 undead builder packs.
What a wave.
Yeah. So I'm not painting anything because every time I sit down, I just keep popping these parts on, and I'm like, damn, this is so much fun, but I want to put paint on something.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get my first undead at ToyCon if they have them there.
Oh, I have 4 of them. Especially the fact that they come with those extra 2.0 to 1.0 joints.
Yeah.
You can use so much more, do so many different things with them. I'd love to see more builder packs in the future again. Those are awesome.
No, I agree with you on that.
I mean, yeah, I just got tons of stuff to play with here. I have fun with my toys.
Good, man.
Nothing wrong with that. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. All right, who's next for show and tell?
I can go really quick because it's not so much of a show and tell. But
all right, Rob, what you got, buddy? Blake, you're next.
Like you said, I mean, it's nothing pickups, but it's just stuff that
That's
I've
all
been
right.
messing around with all week or the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's just what your eye keeps going to, or what you carry around with you.
Well, yeah, I've been carrying this to work like for the last couple of weeks because Sparrow toys are fun. But and then I have this guy that I've been messing around with.
Ooh,
Yeah, he's cool. I saw
that's
pictures
nice.
of that.
Tell us about that.
And then I think I'm going to try to finish her up today. This female.
Can you go back to that other figure?
Which one?
The last one. This guy.
This
Yeah.
one?
Can you tell me about that? What is that? How did you build that? Tell me about it, man.
It's just an armory knight with one of the skulls from the skeleton pack, the 4-pack, and that's it. Yeah, there's nothing.
What about the soft goods, man? Did you make those? Or?
Yeah, the soft.
Yeah, it's nice. With the work shirt. One of my work shirts that I.
Your work shirt.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
Hey, that's
You're hired.
That's it.
Yeah.
Can I send you some of my work shirts? A lot of fabric.
I watched this YouTube video on this this girl that I don't know what the figures are. I think they're acid rain or something. But she was just showing how you could just take an old shirt and just cut up the sleeves, long strips, wrap them around, and you're good to go. But that's what.
Cool.
I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Not so much of pickups.
No, it's all right. It's not just pickups. It's just whatever it could be an old ass toy, but just whatever you're, catching your eye. Like I've got a lot of stuff that I'm opening or in the process of opening. Like I opened a Balius. I never had it before, and I opened it, and it's beautiful horse.
Yeah, like the Sparrow toys. This has been in my work bag for the last 2.5 weeks, and he's just a fun figure to play with.
And the Barbarian has really been like that for me. Like I always have him, whatever room I'm in, it seems like that's where he ends up. I'm just always like, posing him or messing around, just checking him out. It's just one of those fun figures.
You know, I got the Schmerby picked up the helmets from Corey at MuskyCon, and so I popped that on the Legendary Barbarian without instead of putting the hair on piece, and it fits perfectly. So
yeah,
I have yet to open that up. Like ever since I got it from Brian Carr, he's still in his.
Dude, open them up, man.
You're gonna love it.
I'm trying to wait to see if I can get another one because this is like one of those figures, just like the Valiant Knight when they came out. It was like a big deal, and I don't know if I'm gonna get another one. And I don't.
No, I get that. I totally get that. And I was talking to somebody about, like, I love that the Barbarian is a touring figure, but it's kind of a bummer for people that are in places like Blake or like Elijah in London, where it's like they don't have access to to go to cons and stuff. And I kind of wish that they had like an in-stock sale for, ahead of time or during the touring. I get, then it wouldn't be touring, I guess, but
because they're not going to sell those until next year, right? On the store.
I think this is the end of this year.
This year. Yeah,
okay.
This year they're doing it.
Yeah, it's a great figure. It looks awesome.
It's so much fun. Yeah, it's
like when the Valiant Knight came out, I held onto one still in the box just in case I never got one again.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the same way. Whenever I would go to a show and I would see a Valiant Knight, I would grab it.
Yeah,
and I've given some away. I've sold a few, but like I try to, because it's one of my favorite figures, so I try to hang on to. I've got one or two open and some that I keep boxed just because they're so damn cool. I remember I had bought one at, I think it was New Jersey Toy Con, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have the studio sign it. And so I went to Chris first, which was a mistake. And so Chris signed the whole front of the blister, like burger, like, and took the whole. And I'm like, dude, I wanted everyone to sign that. So next time I went and had everyone else sign it and then him. So
nice.
Yeah. All right, Blake, you're up, buddy.
All right, I'm going to burn through a few of these. My birthday, so I got a bunch. So shout out to two people that helped me get this: Jeffrey Evans, Cosmic Jeff, and Badass Reviews, Carlos. So thank you very much. I'll get this one out here soon. Of course, do some pictures and enjoy the figure.
Cool.
Got my Maximum Spider-Man. We'll see if it's maximum. If it's worth the maximum price or not.
Where'd you get that one from? Did you get it from Hasbro?
Amazon. I actually got it on Amazon, and it just showed up day before yesterday. So it actually showed up on my birthday. And then was happy to get this. My Mezco pre-order that was sitting there forever finally shipped. So Doc Nocturnal, the monster who kills monsters. So
it's a great figure. Be careful for the chest piece though. The skull and the chest is a little fragile. There's a little peg that you connect the cape. You connect the cape to the chest and it snaps really easy. So be careful.
And then I got this bad boy, which is going to be a beautiful display piece with Monkey King. And as soon as I get Ganesha, the Medi Toys Panda.
Oh yeah.
I love the World of Warcraft line by Medi, Memory, Mithril, all these different. So I got the Panda. His eyes light up green. This figure is really, really cool. So he's going to fit really into that display case with Ganesha and Monkey King and that. So I think that's going to be awesome.
Panda bears are just gothic polar bears.
Right. And then I had to jump in on these. I got into the D20 horses.
Nice.
So, yeah, they're awesome. And so, of course, I had to get.
That's the one I would buy. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Do you have like a Boreas or something there that you can
I was going to ask the same thing. How do they compare to the Mythics horses?
They're very comparable. I don't know if you watch any reviews, but the only really big difference is, both the company's horses are phenomenal. The only difference here is there is more articulation in the necks because they went to a soft overlay. So, like, you can actually turn it.
Wow.
And then,
it's like water, like that.
You can actually the horse can actually lay down, like in a horse pose, and actually lay down with its hooves out and everything. and there is ankle rocker and stuff in here. But yeah, I mean, his head literally.
Wow.
I didn't know.
So
it could
for
be
the
that
dynamic posing and stuff like that, they really, they're very articulated, and you can get them to do all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, I'm very happy with both. Once again, back to that whole thing. There's been people that have put reviews out on these horses, and they're like, oh, these are just so much better than the Allegiance, and I'm like, no, they're really not. I think they're just dynamically different. And it's nice to have different type of horses. So I love horses. I think they're phenomenal. What a great, like Gideon's Heaven Brand on the horse. I mean, that just is a centerpiece in my collection.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
So yeah, so I got that.
I bought a Gideon, an extra Gideon, just to put on his horse.
And their tails are bendy wire.
Oh.
So you can get a lot of action out of these. So if you're doing toy photography, you can get a lot of action, and it's just they're fun. They're fun. And then I think I showed you guys already Matt Dowdy. I was asking him. I missed this years ago, or a long time ago. Was this release from Onell Studios, and they just showed up. The guy didn't even charge me. I mean, what an amazing guy, right? Yeah, it's like I said, hey, do you know where to get these two at? I said, I've seen these. I really love them. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's such and such, such and such. Let me see what I can do. And all of a sudden they just showed up. So I'm like, wow,
so
that was super cool. I mean, that's just an example, especially with Matt. I mean, he's such an amazing human being. And what else? I got I've collected some McFarlanes in my time. I'm a huge Spawn fan. Anybody knows me. That's my thing. Al Williams, Marine, the story. I love the whole Spawn aura. I got this figure. I love this figure. I didn't want the jet bike, the whole deal, but I just love this this McFarlane. He did really well with Lobo. So very cool. And then the last few Mythic Legions that I've been working on, I've done a couple posts. You might have seen this one on my Instagram, some photos and stuff that I've done. I did this one.
Nice.
Love it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I got her. She's amazing. I take her into battle with me anytime.
There you go.
For more reasons than one. And then one of my co-partners here is going to be with Monkey King. He's kind of, the way I look at it, he's the Monkey King's, one of his assassins. The head sculpt done by the ever so known Scalasoria Alejandro out of Chicago. Does amazing work. So Scala.
Yes, always amazing work.
Beautiful.
Right? Yep. And then that will be, I did a bunch of pictures on all of these I'm showing you. They'll be hitting my Instagram here soon. And then a Blaze Bear doing up special.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
really cool.
I love Blaze.
I
man.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, that's actually, I think the one I'll post today for Easter. And then just a pop and swap that I really liked. So I decided to do.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good use of the extra head,
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, that is all my figure fun and basically my birthday stuff that I either, paraded me, bought me some gifts for myself, or got some good deals, or finally got some pop and swaps. Those last three figures I showed you literally happened because I just got the last Armory Knights order from, Four Horsemen, and that I had ordered those three with those, pop and swap custom in mind. So, but yeah, it's been fun. So thanks for letting me share. I appreciate it.
Birthday again.
Hey, thank you.
All right, Cookie, what you got, man?
I already kind of showed it, but I'm gonna show him again.
Yeah, show it again.
So this new wave of Transformers is pretty awesome. We already talked about,
He's really cool.
but he's got his transformation is pretty smooth. He turns into a tank. That's what Megatron does. But the turret's a little wonky. But other than that, I'm not one for effects, but the fact he's on fire is awesome. He's got a sword. I don't know. He's one of my new favorite Transformers. And that's about it. I mean, I got Ganesh.
No, that's cool, man.
And ATL 25s. I have a few of them now. I got one apart, making a new one. So definitely one of my favorite figures of the year so far is an ATL 25. So.
Yeah, you could do a lot with that figure.
Such a great figure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's
I love
pretty much
that thing.
waiting on the two cons are in the mail. Waiting on those guys, and then
Which ones?
The two construction cons, the
Oh, okay.
Bone Crusher and Scrapper, they're in the mail. And then I have Air Raid in the mail, so always getting Transformers.
Yeah, I didn't know you were that big of a Transformers fan.
Yeah, it's
No.
my main collection is Transformers.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Wow. You'll
All
be
right,
at Toy
sir.
Con, right?
I'll be a toy. Yeah.
I will see you
All
there,
right.
man. So last thing I want to do real quick is shout outs. We had mentioned Nate, but I wanted to go over again just how amazing this art is. So shout out to Nate for this phenomenal, just amazing work.
Oh, and Tom Tolman
And
too.
Tom Tomlin, yeah, definitely Tom Tomlin. I tried to find him on Instagram and I didn't see him on there. But
Tom Tolman, yeah.
Tom Tolman, yes, sorry. Sig is asking Cookie if does the fire effects come off?
Oh, the yeah, they're all hold on, let me they're 5mm ports. They just pop off.
Okay. Cool. I like fire effects too.
Yes,
That's
on
awesome.
him when he's in his mode form as well. So
And he stands good.
Yeah.
these modern Transformers, they all stand pretty well.
Yeah.
Get some loose joints once in a while, but he's a little floor polish there, tightens it right up. You good to go.
Very cool. But yeah, I just wanted to I mean, everything Nate does is great, man. His art is great, but and I don't know if this is something that, like, you know, it seems kind of out of what he normally does, but man, it really, like, his art here is just phenomenal, man. Want to give a shout out to him.
Just being an all-around great dude.
And being a great dude. I agree. I think he's also going to be at the West Coast meetup.
Yes.
He is.
So.
He was on the episode last week with Brick talking about it.
Yes. Yeah, that was a great episode. What are you growling at me? What are you growling at me for? I think she's telling me it's
sorry,
time to
Greg.
wrap it
I
up.
apologize.
Shout out also to my buddy Mark. He does the Meet the Collector. He did an episode with our very own Curtis. So check that out. Another great episode. He's got more coming. And that's all I have for shout outs. If anyone else wants to shout anybody out, now is the time.
Shout out to Blake. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Blake.
Hell
And
Looking
Mike
good at 40, man.
Gaspar and Jen Sayak. Happy birthday.
Shout out to you, Greg, for my getting my Barbarian. I know that I put a post on it, but I really appreciate you.
No problem.
I know they're hard to get your hands on, so for you to think about me, and you could have had an extra one, but you gave me yours, means a lot. So he's definitely on display proudly.
Yeah, no problem. I don't mind helping. Like, you know, there's guys that will do, you know, like I know Terrence and Brett and William Wallace. We all try to grab stuff for our friends, our new friends. And it's like, the only thing I worry is, like, I don't want the studio to think that we're like trying to like flip them or, you know, try to make money off of it. It's like, no, we're just trying to share, you know, the figures to our, you know, the people that aren't able to get one. But it's such a great figure. So my pleasure, man. Anytime.
Yeah, and I don't know if Brian Carr is still in here, but I feel like I always got to give him a shout out. And everybody knows why. But if you're in here, dude, I love you, man. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Being a solid dude. He's just a great guy.
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to Jesse again, and to Keon for the wonderfully painted heads, and also to Brian Ramos, who bought it through John. But again, super talented painters that I enjoy having them. Your work in my collection, they're fun. It adds to the whole creativity and the enjoyment of the figures. And also shout out to Jeff Evans. Jeff, man, glad you're doing better, and glad you're part of us, still with us. We're going to be here. We're here for you all the time, man. Anybody who's having going through tough times, we're here for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're all friends. So,
Well said, Hunter. Well said.
Yep. Brick says today's episode is with Steph Orkin and Michael Duggar of Insightful Imagery at 3:45 p.m. So check that out.
I will be there.
For sure. Anyone else have any shout outs?
I'm sure I'll think of something as soon as we go.
Shout out to you guys for being awesome. Thank you guys for being here. What shows are we going to be at here coming up? Go ahead. Anybody?
Well, I'm going to be at ToyCon. I'm going to be at Lehigh Valley. I'm going to be at Shop to Curiosity. I'm going to be in Maryland. Those are my shows.
Now, do you volunteer for those, Cookie, or did they tell you, hey, you're going to be there?
It's kind of an expectation that I'm going to work the local shows.
Okay.
The street team, like if it's a street team show with Len, I just automatically do it. He's my guy, so
yeah,
I do that for him. And then just any local show, like I know we drive the van, so it's I'll do a local shows. I mean, if I don't want to do a show, I think I don't want to do it, and they'll figure it out. But
yeah,
I like doing the shows, so it's fun.
And it's always good to see you out there, man.
Appreciate it's nice to see all the familiar faces at the table too.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're a celebrity now, man. People they come to see you.
I don't know about that. I just put toys in boxes, I don't.
You do it well, man. But you're a good dude too, man. We appreciate you. Anybody else? Any shows that people are going to go to here?
I'll be at Legion's Con, and then D-Con is within driving distance. I wanted to go last year, but I spent so much money at Legion's Con I couldn't afford the trip when I got home, because it's the week and directly following Legion's Con. But I'm planning to be a little smarter with my money this year and try and check out D-Con.
Absolutely, man.
I won't be at this. Whoever somebody just see me at this con, I'm not going to this con.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a drive for you, man.
Yeah.
No, I'll be at Maryland Toy Expo. Looking forward to it. I'll see you there, Cookie.
I'll be there.
Looking to see everybody there. Who I know Marty Max and a few of the others are going to be there. The Purple Gang guys who I met first time there. So looking out, I'm seeing Len and the guys, and it's only a 1-day show. It's Saturday, but I'm going to go up Friday because I'm going to make a couple stops. There's Cards, Comics, and Collectibles in Reisterstown that's owned by Mark Nathan, who is a great guy, and unfortunately doesn't carry Mythic Legions, but he does carry a lot of stuff, and I've known him for since I was 18, 19 years old and doing comic book conventions. So he runs Baltimore Comic Con too.
Very nice.
I'll be at the West Coast meetup and Legion's Con. That's my plans.
Sounds good.
And then
Brendan, how about you, buddy?
Well, that's what I was going to say. ToyCon's next weekend. We got a little thing going on there.
Yeah.
Anybody that's in the area going to ToyCon, hit me up. Probably going to have a little barbecue at the house. Try to get a little Mythic meetup going on. Already have a few people coming by. I know Greg will be at the house. I can definitely say that. Greg and Dave, or not Dave, Brian Carr.
Nice.
There'll be I already got a good number of people,
Big
the
G
locals
said
around
he's
here.
be there too, I believe.
Brendan, how
Do you
close?
just? What's that?
How close are you to the venue?
I'm from the Armory. I'm less than 10 minutes.
I live 2 miles away from the Armory.
Seriously, okay.
That's the
When you
last.
said it,
You guys are neighbors.
Yeah, you guys should send me an invite, Brendan.
yeah, no, I will. I have a chat going on. People like Ryan and Amber are going. G is going to stop by. Gweisigway just said here he might not be at ToyCon, or he's not going to ToyCon.
I think he's got something. I think his daughter is playing softball.
Yeah, she has
So,
a baseball game or something.
He said that he will probably be there after, or be
I can't
at,
see the chat.
your get together. So
Nice. Excellent. So yeah, just gonna try and get people together. I know you get a good group of people that show up. So yeah, it's not just Brett that'll be there in the morning. When I got there last time, it was Brett.
Raul,
The couple guys I
Ben,
can't remember.
Gonzalez are there.
It's Ryan and Amber, obviously.
Tony Toy, Ed,
Orkins.
Orkins.
You'll get a good I mean, and we were there so early. People that got there after us actually said something like, "These people get online for a toy show." Like they were whispering to themselves.
People think we're crazy by getting in
They
line
do.
early,
They really.
but I have so much fun, like just talking toys. Like I've said it before. That's why I had this show. That's where I got the idea from. Was like I'm waiting in line, freezing my ass off in New Jersey, but I'm having so much fun talking toys with these guys. You know, Tony Toy, and you and Raul and Sven and Brett, and like we're just having a great time. Time is just flying by, and then I start seeing, you know, Big G and Cookie, you know, pull up, and you know they're wiping the sleep off their eyes, getting ready to work, and we're getting excited to go in there. Man, it's just so much fun.
It is. It really is. It goes so, like you said, it goes so fast. I was very hesitant because of the time, but the time is nothing when you're sitting there hanging out with everybody.
That's right. Talking stuff that you love, being with people that are freaking rad. It's a great time.
And that's it. It's the community. That's to go back to that. It's not every show I go to, it's more about the community. At first, I was just going to do Toy Con and Legion's Con. Then last year, I ended up doing ZolaCon. This year, now it's going to be Lehigh Valley, Shop the Curiosity. Probably next year, I'll go to Maryland. I just want to go to more shows because it's more about the people.
Yes.
There. Not the ones on the Cabal. I'm not knocking the Cabal, but like, you know, when you go to these shows, everybody is there to have a good time. You are not going to see the negative Nellies there. They'll go online and talk about it. But, totally at the show, it's just good people wanting to hang out, have a good time, and just enjoy this. Yeah. And that's what I really love.
Absolutely.
So,
well said.
I'm going to try to make as many as possible.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. On that point, we've hit almost the 3-hour mark. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry about your asses sitting here so long. Thank you.
I've been standing.
I can't believe there hasn't been more pee breaks.
And we've got 32 viewers. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out and being there.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for watching.
For being here for the first time. I think you were on before though, weren't you? One time you hopped in.
Not with you, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I appreciate it, and thank you for letting us pick your brain, and getting some more insight into the studio. Thank you very much for sharing that.
No
and thanks for showing Ganesh too. That was awesome.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, that was cool.
Studio on Friday. I'm like, I'm going on Schmurger show on Sunday. I might bring Ganesh on, and they're like, oh, does he pre-records, doesn't he? I was like, oh shit, like it'll be like 2 weeks before it comes out. I didn't
I do a pre-record, and then I also do the live every other Sunday. So this one actually fell on Easter, and I'm like, I don't know if anyone's going to be that wants to do it, but yeah, I'll do it. Heinrich was like, hey man, get some people together, and I'm like, yeah, let's do that. So it all worked out. So thank you guys all so much for being here. Thank you for your time. Happy Easter. Thank you to the people that are in the chats. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. You guys have a great rest of your day.
Take it easy, guys.
We're out. Thank you, guys.